United get on this afternoon. It's time now to sit back and enjoy the action. We'll bring you all the goal news from around the country, but our commentary match this afternoon comes from Ibrox.
On digital radio,
FM,
online at BBC Sports Scotland,
your smart speaker,
and BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland,
where Scottish football lives.
And a very good afternoon to you from Ibrox Stadium. Rangers against Dundee United, just a couple of minutes away, and we will, as Kenny was saying, keep you across everything that's happening across the rest of the Premiership, Championship and Leagues 1 and 2. Remember, lots of Scottish Cup first round ties taking place this weekend as well, and we will have updates when we can get them on what's going on in those ties. Actually got underway yesterday. Leaden skies above Ibrox here in Glasgow this afternoon. It's a little bit chilly as well on this mid-September afternoon. Both sets of players are out on the pitch. The preliminaries are just about done. The two captains, James Tavernier and Ryan Edwards, will have the coin toss in front of us. And just appointed as well that at Ibrox and indeed across the country there will be tributes made, whether that be minute silences or minutes applause in memory of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, who died a week past Thursday. And a minute silence will be observed here at Ibrox in just a moment, and I believe the British National Anthem will also receive a rendition here as well. The referee, Kevin Clancy, just getting himself to his position with both sets of players at either side of the centre circle lined up for this minute silence.
Followed by the national anthem.
National anthem ringing out here, the British National Anthem at Ibrox, and quite clearly you would have heard the minute silence was disrupted. It's impossible from where we are to see exactly where they came from. Sets of players just breaking away and ready for kick-off here. The matches will be getting underway across the country. As I say, we'll keep you up to date with them as we go along. This afternoon we've got reporters at the Premiership matches, some of the Championship ones as well, and I'll keep you across the scores elsewhere this afternoon. The Dundee United will get the game off. They're in their tangerine shirts, black shorts, tangerine socks, going left to right, shooting towards the Copeland Road end of the stadium. And that is kick-off with Rangers in the blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops. And it's back with the United keeper Carl-Johan Eriksson, who blasts it forward, flicked on by Tony Watt. The chaser in behind there was Jamie McGrath. Tavernier gets there first though, and he clears it up into the United half, but it bounces off the head of Ross Graham, who was a goal scorer against Rangers in the meeting at Tannadice, the 1-1 draw towards the end of last season. It's McGregor in goal for Rangers, Tavernier, Goldson, King and Vanisic at the back. First start for Charlie McCann, with Jack and Lundstrom in the middle, with Arfield and Kent supporting Cholak, whose 29th birthday is today. For United, Middleton in for Fletcher, their only change. Eriksson in goal, Edwards, Mulgrew and Graham at the back, Smith and Baich either side, Levitt and Harks in the middle, with Middleton and McGrath supporting Tony Watt. No Stephen Fletcher, as I say, at all in the matchday squad today. It's a flick there by Colak out to this near side. Ryan Jack with a bone-crunching challenge on Liam Smith. He's left him in a heap inside the Rangers half. Rangers will play on here. Tavernier getting it from Kent. He's in a right central area. Delicate chip ball. Jack plays it into the middle. Kent for the effort, and it's blocked on the 6-yard line just about and cleared by United. What a chance that was for Ryan Kent to open the scoring for Rangers in the 2nd minute of the game. It stays 0 each.
It's got to score, Liam. I mean, he's the pace of the pass from Ryan Jack, lovely pick out. It was his initial challenge. I thought it was clean, and then when it gets played into his path, he just knocks it across the pace of goal, and there was Ryan Kent, just totally misses it.
Here come Rangers again, and it's Mulgrew with the outstretched left leg, manages to clear it out for a throw-in, level with the Dundee United penalty spot on the near side for Barisic. It's a good start to the game by Rangers here. United up against the rack already as it comes back to Leon King. He's just got a call up to the Scotland under-21 squad as he gets it back from Connor Goldson. Pushed forward to Lundstrom midway inside United territory, then out to Ryan Jack on that far side. The game's kicking off elsewhere across Scotland. No goals in the very early stages of them as yet, as Tavernier rolls it low. Arfield with the dummy. Colak back to Arfield. Offside flags up. 2 minutes in. 0-0. Craig Easton, Dundee United up against it in the early stages.
Absolutely, it's similar to how Rangers started on Wednesday night, with a real intensity, with a real purpose. And it was interesting to see Liam Smith. He was down on the ground. Rangers took full advantage of that. I think it was Ryan Jack that got into that position, the right back position. He kind of pulled Ryan Edwards out of position, and then he played the ball across. And like Neil says, Ryan Kent should have burst the net. But yeah, if Dundee United are going to need to weather this storm, and Neil alluded to it earlier, you come to Ibrox as an opposition player, you've got to try and keep them quiet for at least 15 to 20 minutes, trying to get the fans a little bit subdued. And at this moment in time, Rangers are really on the front foot.
When Kent misses it as well, Craig, Colak, he's just on the half turn. He's almost turning his back, thinking he's going to get smashed with Ryan Kent's shot, and when he doesn't catch it cleanly, when he turns round, he almost got on the end of the little bouncing ball. He himself missed it as well, so you need to get out of jail. Be interesting to see how deep they have to go in the early stages of the match, as you touch on, whether they can get in contact with Tony Watt up there. You can see that McGrath off one side and Middleton off this right side. They have gone with quite an attacking formation, 3 up there.
Yeah, they have, but you just seen when Rangers had the possession, Tony Watt was really, he was about 20 yards actually this side of the centre circle in his own half, and so they're going to have 10 men behind the ball, 11 men behind the ball, obviously. But what are they going to do when they win possession? How's Tony Watt going to get himself further forward? How's Glenn Middleton going to support him? That's what it's going to be about today for Dundee United.
It's back with Alan McGregor, who boots it clear from inside his own box up towards Colak, beaten by Mulgrew though. Breaks into the midfield, and it's collected by Jack, who finds Tavernier to his right, back to Connor Goldson, who finds King. A Rangers team that's lost its last 3, conceding 11, scoring none. They haven't lost 4 on the bounce since season 84-85. The Rangers, they haven't gone 4 games without a goal since the final 4 of 94. As Tavernier finds Jack, pushing it forward to Arfield, gets it back towards Ryan Jack, who's claiming that's going out for a corner. The assistant agrees, right in front of the Dundee United supporters, over in that Govan West corner of the stadium under one of the big screens. And it's a corner for James Tavernier, the first of the match, 4.5 in. 0-0 at Ibrox, 0-0 in all the other Premiership matches. I'm just scrolling through the Championship Leagues 1 and 2, nothing yet as far as goal scoring is concerned, as Tavernier takes the corner and it's flicked behind there for another one. I think it's Ryan Edwards, was it? Or no, it was McGrath. It was just at the near post who's put it behind. Little nervy moment for Eriksson, the United goalkeeper, who's just been called up to the Finland national team for their Nations League games coming up. Tavernier's corner, the referee's whistle blows though, and Kevin Clancy, who's in charge of proceedings, wants to speak to Mulgrew and Goldson by the looks of things.
You're talking about Eriksson, about being called up to the Finnish team. The goalkeeper has been a problem for Dundee United this season, but I think in the last game against Motherwell, we saw Eriksson made 3 or 4 good saves, kept him in the game.
Tavernier swings the corner in again. Goldson with the header back across the right hand side of the box, where it is picked up by McCann, who shifts it out wide right. Tavernier, it's another cross ball, it comes in, it comes off Goldson's head and then cleared by Ian Harkes, out for a throw-in on this near side, level with 18-yard line. almost 6 minutes into proceedings here as Barisic picks up, gets it back from Kent and rolls it back to Ryan Jack. Rangers on the attack here. Shifted to McCann, now to Jack. There's been a goal at Easter Road in the match between Hibs and Aberdeen. Willie Miller.
Certainly is. It's gone to the visitor. 3 minutes in the clock and Aberdeen take the lead. Coulson down the left-hand side, crosses it into the box.
Chance here for Rangers. Kent across and over the bar from Arfield. Goal kick Dundee United. Willie Miller.
Good header, top corner, drifts in at the far post. Aberdeen take the lead here early in this game.
First start for Luis Lopez, also known as Duke, and he scores for Aberdeen to give them the lead at Easter Road. As I say, you won't miss anything. We'll keep you across. No open all mics this afternoon, but we will keep you across everything that's going on. Back to Craig Easton.
Another really good chance for Rangers. Another let-off for Dundee United. They got ripped apart there, straight through the middle, and this is a problem that they've been having in the middle of the park. We've got Dylan Levitt in there with Ian Hartson, and none of the two of them are really naturally gifted in terms of their defensive attributes in there. Dylan Levitt, very good footballer. Ian Hartson will go and support the forwards, but they just don't recognise that gap in between the two.
Here's a chance for Tony Watt up the other end for United. He's at the edge of the penalty area. He's got McGrath's support. He's on the turn, getting away from King. He reacts well to put it behind for a Dundee United corner. Their first of the afternoon, 7 in. They're lucky to not be behind O'Neill McCann.
Yeah, they should be 2 down. Scott Arfield just totally miscues it like Ryan Kent, but then it goes up the pitch there and you can see that Rangers are pouring bodies forward. Leon King misjudged the bounce. Tony Watt getting behind, but he recovered well, young King.
McGrath's going to take the corner. Stirling Albion have gone 1-0 up against Stranraer in League 2. Peterhead 1-0 up in Kelty Hearts. It's been a terrible start for the Blue Toon. Generally speaking, in comes McGrath's corner, headed away by Tavernier. Levitt looking to keep it alive, shifting it to the left for Harks, who's been robbed, showed way too much of it to Tavernier. And now the Rangers captain's bounding across the halfway line, down that right-hand side. He's got 2 ahead of him in McCann and Kent. Cholak getting there too. Cholak with a touch and the shot and the goal! A brilliant counter-attack by Rangers. Born from James Tavernier on the right-hand side after United cheaply gave it away in the Rangers half. And Antonio Cholak on his 29th birthday gives Rangers the early lead here. 8 minutes in, Rangers 1, Dundee United 0.
Well, I know the finish is about Cholak, but this is all about the captain. He robs Harks out on the right side. Rangers right side, he's robbed on possession and it just goes, as we know that James Tavernier does. Full marks to Charlie McCann and Ryan Kent because they take up a central position because they know that the Rangers captain's probably one of the best crossers of the ball in the country, so they take up the central, the deep in the United defence, and when they're all sleeping, going back towards their own goal, Antonio Cholak has made up the ground and it's just a lovely little pullback and it's a beautiful finish, just driven low into that far corner past the goalkeeper. It's a brilliant counter-attacking goal from Rangers, but poor from Dundee United. They'd gone too far forward. Hearts get caught and they were punished.
It's a devastating attack, Neil, but at the same time I'm looking at the Dundee United players. Someone needs to engage James Tavernier far earlier than he did.
Absolutely.
I mean, someone just needs to break their possession, get across to him, make him think about doing something else. He was allowed to drive with the ball up until the edge of the box, and I think it was Behic who eventually came to him, but he had the composure to pick someone out. But I think Dundee, Ian Hart's is kicking himself. He'd too much time on the ball. He took so much time. He got robbed and he got absolutely punished.
It's all come from a Dundee United corner.
Yeah, you're right, Liam. And it was a decent attack just before then. So, you've got to then be, you have to come and attack here. Yes, you're going to have to do that to try and be in the game, but you've got to be very, very careful behind the ball because Rangers will just destroy you like that.
One of Craig's old teams, another one of Craig's old teams, Wraith Rovers, have gone 1-0 up against Ayr United. I think Derek is there and can tell us about the goal. Derek Ferguson.
Yeah, it's a Kyle Connell goal, Liam. Beautiful goal, and they've dominated right from the off. Wraith Rovers just takes possession of the ball inside the box. Keeper comes out, but just a lovely, calm finish past the keeper into the back of the net. So, as you said, Liam, Wraith Rovers 1-0 up here against the leaders, Ayr United.
Yeah, Ayr United unbeaten this season as well in the league. And that's Wraith, who've lost their last 2 in front at Starks Park against the Honest Men. 1-0 Rangers here. It's 1-0 Aberdeen at Hibs in the infancy of the games in the top flight. 10.5 in here. United in possession. Liam Smith working it out to Middleton, former Rangers player. Finds Smith, who's on the turn under pressure from McCann. And Smith rolls it back into his own half for Charlie Mulgrew, who finds Edwards, the United skipper, chipping it forward to Watt. Little flick back looking for Levitt, but it goes straight to Jack. and he can find Tavernier, he finds Lundstrom, he's inside his own penalty area, low calm ball to Scott Arfield, who retains his place in the team. He started against Napoli the other night as well, as Lundstrom plays it across the face of his own box for Leon King. 11 minutes in, Rangers 1, United 0. It's the perfect start for Rangers, and they could have had a couple of goals before the one they actually scored.
There should be 3 up, to be honest, but it's Craig's right, it's United, it's self-inflicted, but compliment, as I said, Ryan Kent, I think he stays too wide at times when the ball's on the other side, but he made up the central position because the number 9 isn't there. But his occupation of that position certainly dropped United, and there was Čolak for the cutback. But it's really good start from Rangers all round. Liam, you said about the tempo's been great. We speak about players, they're not going to perform well if they don't start the game in the right manner.
There's Ryan Jack, now it's McCann. Back to Lundstrom. Rangers ensuring with that goal that they won't go 4 without one. I mentioned the 4 games at the end of season 93-94. The last of those 4 which they didn't score in was, of course, the Scottish Cup final against Dundee United. And Craig Brewster got the only goal of the match across the city from here at Hampden, as Barisic finds Jack out wide left for Kent. Forward it comes to McCann at the edge of the area. It's a dink ball right hand side of the box, looking for Tavernier. Beich gets his head onto it, and as he's Beich trying to drive away from Tavernier, checks his run, rolls it back to Ross Graham. It's a dreadful ball by Graham though, straight to John Lundstrom, who's in the middle of the park here, midway inside the Dundee United half. And now it's out to Borna Barisic on this near side. Back to Lundstrom, and then into the centre circle for King. That Peterhead goal, incidentally, scored by O'Keefe, and the Stirling Albion goal in League 2 was Fotheringham, as Barisic picks up wide on this near side level with the edge of the D, up against Middleton, infield to McCann. Now it's with Lundstrom taking a touch, thought about the shot, plays it to Čolak, looks to work it back to Lundstrom. United have enough bodies in the way as Mulgrew goes down, bullied off it by Arfield, no foul, no complaints from Mulgrew. Goldson with the cross, away by Charlie Mulgrew, and then Middleton whacks it clear with a left boot. 13 in, Rangers 1, Dundee United 0.
Liam, it's like a game like you compress the pitch at training where you play on half of the pitch. I mean, at times it's been played in like 25 yards of space, and I mean every United player within that 25 yards. But there's still space for Rangers, which is concerning.
If you're going to compress that game, Neil, you're absolutely right, and we're watching it here in the 4th. If you're going to play a 5-4-1 and compress that, you can't let people play in between you.
No.
You've got Dylan Levitt, he's not checking his shoulder. Like we talk about Stephen Davis, how he done it so well the other night against Napoli. There's still gaps in between them. We're watching it at the moment as the play comes across, right, he doesn't need it now, but there's still now there's someone else, and they're just kind of playing round about Dundee United. If you're going to play this way, you give up the wide areas, defend your crosses. We spoke about it before the game. Force it wide, defend your crosses. They can't play through you, and this is what Rangers are doing at the moment.
Here is Tavernier on that far side, infield to Scott Arfield. It's been a couple of goals in the Championship to update you on. I'll do that in just a moment. We're going to head, I think, to Dens Park in just a second. Here's Ryan Jack forward to Arfield. Good challenge there by Mulgrew. This time it's Tavernier sliding into McGrath. Comes back to Goldson. Gavin Wallace at Dens Park.
Yes, Liam, literally just came to me. Inverness, Catley Thistle have just equalised. An absolute rasper from Cameron Harper outside the box. And the opening goal came just a minute or two ago from a Paul McMillan corner. A bit of a stramash inside the box, and Ryan Sweeney got on the end of it. Dundee 1, Inverness 1.
2 goals in quick succession in that one. Dale Hilson has put Arbroath 1-0 up at Capello against Morton. So the goals raining in the Championship. There's been a couple in the Premiership. Rangers 1-0 up here, Aberdeen 1-0 up on Hibs. Goalless at Livingston and at St Johnstone, as Connor Goldson picks up and rolls it to the right for Tavernier, who finds Lundstrom. Rangers leading through Antonio Čolak's 8th goal of the season. Chip ball forwards, harmless, and it goes behind for the goal kick. Almost bang on 15 minutes here at Ibrox.
Lundstrom's really dictating tempo of the game. He's dropping in between the centre backs. He's dropping right of Connor Goldson, pushing Tavernier on. He's getting on it. He's pushing it into midfield. He's slowing it down. He's picking it up. But the one player that is catching my eye already for Rangers is little Charlie McCann. He's picking up those pockets in behind Levitt, in behind Hearts. And as you said, Craig, he's not been picked up, but he's certainly affecting the game positively for Rangers.
East Fife have gone 1-0 up in League 2 at Galabank against Annan. Annan Athletic 0, East Fife 1, as Tavernier rolls it back to his goalkeeper, and it's Alan McGregor who clears his lines with the right foot. Picked up by Mulgrew, who's chopped to the ground by Arfield. Free kick United, left of the centre circle, just inside the Rangers half. 15 and a half in, with Rangers leading by 1-0. Craig Easton.
It's very difficult, Neil, as well. We spoke about it on the flip side of it, to pick those players up when they're very good. The Rangers movement's excellent. You know, McCann, he goes up and supports and then he drops in, so you don't really know where he's going to be, but you've still got to have that a little bit more awareness and also communication. If you're playing with a back three, you've got to have Mulgrew, Ryan Edwards and Ross Graham knowing when they're going to take that runner or when to tell you where he's going to go. So there's definitely that. Listen, it's hard, the fans, the noise, but you've got to just have that little bit of community, even if it's a bit of eye contact. Sometimes you've got to be looking at each other, you've got to be knowing how to do it.
Here come United's Watt at the edge of the box, rolling it to Middleton, who in turn with the left foot rolls it right hand side of the box for Smith. His cross cut out by Barisic, but it goes behind for Dundee United's second corner of proceedings. 16 and a half in, they trail by 1-0, but they've got a chance here to put the Rangers defence under pressure, and it hasn't looked always at ease from set pieces this season as the Rangers rear guard. And of course they went up the pitch with a counter-attack and scored after United's first corner. The second will be taken here by McGrath on this main stand side. The two managers looking on from the edge of their technical areas down the line. McGrath takes, there's a stooping header which is over the bar from Middleton, drops onto the roof of the net. Actually did quite well there, did Glenn Middleton. Goal kick though to Rangers, 1-0 to Rangers, 17 minutes played.
Yeah, it wasn't much chance for Glenn Middleton. He tried to dive. I think he'd lost Leon King, but interestingly Rangers have dropped this zonal marking. They've got a front post area in our field. Cholak's on the goalkeeper, Tavernier's picking up Tony Watt, then everyone else is picking up a Dundee United jersey, so it's totally changed. Something that Giovanni said that he had to address, he's done that.
Dundee United's last league win here was 2011. It's been a long time, albeit the two clubs were out with the top division for a long time. In fact, when United went down, Rangers came up, so that added an extra few years to this fixture's absence from the calendar. There's a little edge to this game as well nowadays because of the Dundee United's position with regards to Rangers being shunted into that third division back in 2012. As United pick up a free kick left of the centre circle just inside their own half, 18 minutes in.
Liam Fox has given the goalkeeper a round of applause there, because you wouldn't think they'd want to play out the back because Rangers are camped right on top of their toes, but it's a clear tactic that he's pushed three up, McGrath and Middleton up. He's drawn Levitt or Hearts towards the ball from Mulgrew, and then they've missed the whole midfield out and gone long. So that's clearly something that Liam Fox has worked on. He wants to be brave at the back, but then to hit long because Rangers pressure. They get a reward with a free kick in a good area.
Elgin City have gone 1-0 up at Ochilview in League 2 against Stenhousemuir. Steny 0, Elgin 1. Here in the Premiership, 1-0 Rangers. It's Barisic picking up on this near side. Now it's moved into Kent. Good challenging back by Dylan Levitt. He finds Smith, he finds Middleton. Up to Watt, back into the feet of Middleton. Leon King trying to stick with him. Middleton has it, he can pop it through to Watt here. There's Watt in behind the defence, not quite. Goldson gets back to beat him to the ball. And he clears and denies Tony Watt a run in on Alan McGregor. 19 in, Rangers 1, United 0. But that is encouraging as far as United are concerned.
Good positive play from Glenn Middleton. He drives at the Rangers back four, tries to slip in Tony Watt, but I like the recovery from Goldson. Connor Goldson showed a little bit of pace. He only had to be 6 yards. He just turned on the boosters. He got back to Tony Watt and dealt with it comfortably. But you know, that's positive from Dundee United. That's encouraging, the fact that if they move the ball quite quickly, can they get Middleton with a little bit of pace running at them, and can they get Tony Watt stretching them a little bit through the middle, because they will play in shoulders, and I think that's their best tactic here today. Maybe go in behind, maybe go on a shoulder, and try and catch them out like that.
There's a chance. McGrath at the edge of the box decides to roll it to BH, left hand side of the area, takes a touch, he shoots, and Alan McGregor gets a touch onto it to put it past for a corner very quickly to Firhill, just a few miles from here. Chick Young.
1-0 Partick Thistle. Magnificent goal from Stevie Lawless just inside 18-yard box, left foot drive off the bar and over the line. Could have been two great chances for Thistle before that. They're all over Cove at the moment. The lead by 1-0.
United corner to be taken by McGrath in swinger this time over on that far side in front of the Copeland Road stand. It's been better from United these last few minutes. And it comes as a good delivery as well, headed away by Cholak though. Jack gets a little flick header onto it, breaks back to Ian Harkes, who slices his shot well wide, and it stays Rangers 1, United 0. If there's a man who wants to make amends out there right now, it's Ian Harkes. He's off target, he's capable from there. Seen him score spectacular goals from distance before.
His best season was last season when he had had a couple of those ones from 18, 20 yards. He can certainly hit them, as can Dylan Levitt from the midfield position. But that was positive from United again. They played across, and I thought Behic could have maybe hit it first time.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Here come United again down the left-hand side. There's a chance here to cross the ball. Bates does so. He's looking for Smith. It's going to be cleared here by Borna Barisic up towards the halfway line, where it's collected by the United skipper Edwards back to Mulgrew. 21 in. Liam Fox has got to be happier with the way it's gone the last few minutes, has he not? Although Harkes has just been robbed by Ryan Jack, and suddenly 4 on 4. Jack rolls it to the right of the box. It's Arfield, and he puts it wide of that near post, and it stays 1-0 to Rangers. Ian Harkes breathing a massive sigh of relief this time.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Neil.
No, I thought he's talking to Ryan Edwards. I think Harkes is saying, well, quicker. But if you're asking for the ball, you can't get robbed. You've got to get yourself side on. You must have a look across your shoulder, see if you're coming under pressure, and then make sure that you're getting yourself in between ball and man. He didn't, he got robbed. And then he had the audacity to say to Ryan Edwards it was his fault, but it was a good break again from Rangers. Positive, plenty of bodies going forward. As you said, 4v4. Scott Arfield just, when he takes a shot on, he's ever so slightly cutting across it, and the chance is gone. But again, self-inflicted from Dundee United, and in particular Ian Harkes.
Yeah, they've got to be careful with that. As soon as they're a wee bit more expansive and open, if they give the ball away in the midfield, Rangers are going to break at them with pace, and it's really dangerous how fast they can move the ball.
And it's gone behind for a goal kick there for Dundee United, who trail Rangers by a 1-0 here in the Scottish Premiership in the top flight. We're going to get an update now on the Scottish Cup first round tie that we're covering today between Kilwinning Rangers and Trinent Juniors. Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, 20 minutes into this one, Liam, and already 2 goals in quick succession for the visitors, Trinent Juniors. Sean Rutherford with a peach of a free kick in off the post for the first one, and then Ben Miller, the number 10, with a brilliant penalty to make it 2-0 with just over 20 minutes on the clock. This one looking comfy so far for the Lowland League side, Trinent Juniors against Kilwinning Rangers.
Glasgow Rangers 1-0 up on Dundee United. Here it's Hibs 0, Aberdeen 1, Livingston 0, Kilmarnock 0. Goalless also St Johnstone, Ross County in the Premiership. McGrath fighting for it in the middle of the park. He's gone down, and the free kick goes Dundee United's way. 23 in here, Rangers 1, United 0. In the Championship, Dundee 1, Cally Thistle 1, Morton 0, Arbroath 1, goalless Accies, Queen's Park, Partick Thistle 1, Cove Rangers 0, Wraith Rovers 1, Ayr United, the league leaders, unbeaten league leaders, trailing 1-0 at Starks Park. In League 1, goalless in 4 of the 5 games, Airdrie, Clyde, Alloa, Montrose, Dunfermline, Falkirk, Queen of the South FC, Edinburgh. It is Peterhead 1, Kelty Hearts 0 though. And in League 2, goalless Albion Rovers, Forfar, Annan 0, East Fife 1, Dumbarton and Bonnyrigg Rose are goalless, Stennismuir 0, Elgin City 1, and Stirling Albion 1, Stranraer 0. Full coverage, bbc.co.uk/sportscotland if you want to keep in touch with the scores of any of the matches at any time. United have the free kick, and they've taken it in the centre circle. Mulgrew back to Edwards, 24 played here. Rangers 1-0 up on United. Long ball which goes behind harmlessly. Goal kick, it's a poor delivery in the end up by Edwards. Rangers goal kick to be taken by McGregor for Goldson. United are certainly put up a fight, Neil McCann, Craig Easton, just in the last 10 minutes or so.
I think they are, but I saw them take a couple of free kicks round about the midfield, and they've went back and they've tried to keep the ball and play it short, and ultimately they've then kicked the ball long. I think they'd be better just trying to play it round about that Rangers box. Can you work off the second balls? And at least you're playing in the Rangers final third. And if Eriksson's going to kick the ball from goal kicks, like he should be doing, because Rangers are going to press the life out of you, you've got to win the second ball.
Here's Harkes, he can nick it out to the right for Middleton, takes a touch, he's at the edge of the box, drops the shoulder, he's in the area now. His shot blocked by the foot of Alan McGregor. Really good opportunity for United there, who then give away the free kick, bringing Barisic down. I think might have been Middleton as we hit 25 minutes. Really good opportunity that for Middleton against his old teammate McGregor.
I tell you, they've found 1 or 2 good areas so far. They've had a couple of really good chances. We speak about Rangers chances, BH chancing earlier on, and then for Middleton it was a bit of composed play at the back, and then they went really through the middle of Rangers midfield when Arfield had separated, so it had almost become flat, and they'd gone right through into the feet, and you just know Middleton fancies his chances. He knows these boys, he's been at Rangers, he knows that he can maybe take them 1-for-1 for pace. He goes onto the weaker right foot and didn't quite catch it, but nonetheless much better from Dundee United, and a warning shot for Rangers that they're still capable of hurting you.
2-0 Stirling Albion in League Two against Stranraer now on the 24th minute. They've got their second. And I believe there's been a goal at Ammonvale. Livingston up against Kilmarnock, Rory Loy.
There has indeed, Liam, and it's that man again, Christian Montano. He scored the winner last time out against Hearts in a 1-0 victory. It came directly from a corner. Sean Kelly with a magnificent delivery into the box. Christian Montano attacked it as well as he could and headed it straight into the back of the net. It's Livingston 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Here's Tavernier for Rangers, who lead 1-0 against Dundee United. Aberdeen are 1-0 up against Hibs at Easter Road. Goalless, the only Premiership match without a goal. St Johnstone, Ross County, as Barisic picks up and rolls it out to the touchline for Kent on this near side. Back to Borna Barisic, who rolls it infield to Jack. Centre circle, Jack to Lundstrom as the sun breaks through the clouds in the skies above Glasgow. 26.5 on the clock. It's Leon King who turns away from Watt, back faces his own goal, and now passes it short to Goldson, who finds Lundstrom.
I think that's better from Dundee United. You see they're a little bit more compact. There's not as many balls coming through the middle of the park, although at this moment in time they're just allowing Carl Goldson to run a bit too far.
And here's McCann to the edge of the area. The Northern Ireland under-21 international just nicking it to the left for Barisic. Back it comes to Jack. You wouldn't guess it's Charlie McCann's first start. He's pointing at his teammates, telling them where to be.
Yep.
He's passing the ball. Looks confident.
He does, he doesn't look overawed by the occasion anyway. He's dictating play a little bit.
He looks like he's been given a free roll in there, Neil.
Yep.
Oh, lovely little ball as well. He's found Arfield inside the box, low area. Now it's with Jack, who's managed to get a shot away. It is blocked. There was a ruck of bodies in the road, and United able to get it away. I suppose he's come through the Manchester United Academy, so you've got to have something about you if you're getting that kind of opportunity and then getting his chance at Rangers after that, as Goldson picks up midway inside the United half. Back to King at the edge of the centre circle. Another of the Rangers youngsters getting their opportunity this afternoon. 27.5 in. Rangers 1, Dundee United 0. It is rolled back to McCann. Now Jack. McCann gets it back from Kent, who finds Jack, who finds Barisic. Level with the penalty spot. Swings the ball in. Eriksson manages to beat it away with both fists, and then Goldson slices his effort from distance well wide. There's a couple of Rangers players appealing for, is it a penalty they're looking for in the area there as it was swung in from the left-hand side?
Yeah, Barisic just tries to bend round. Liam Smith takes a deflection. It's a looper one. The goalkeeper comes for it, but Cholak saying that, I don't know if it was Mulgrew or it was...
I think it was Mulgrew maybe.
Was it Mulgrew? Yeah, I think maybe over the top, and Cholak saying that he was impeded, wasn't allowed to go for the ball. I don't think there was enough in it for me for a penalty, but certainly that's what they were claiming for.
Hibs 0, Aberdeen 1, Livingston 1, Kilmarnock 0, Rangers 1, Dundee United 0 here. Goalless St Johnstone, Ross County, Dundee 1, Callidysel 1 in the Championship, Morton 0, Arbroath 1. Goalless Accies Queen's Park, Partick Thistle 1, Cove Rangers 0, Wraith Rovers 1, Ayr United 0. League 1, Airdrieonians 0, Clyde 0. Goalless Alloa Montrose as well as it is Dunfermline, Falkirk and Queen of the South Edinburgh. Peterhead 1, Kelty Hearts 0. And in League 2, goalless Albion Rovers 4 for Annan 0, East Fife 1. Dumbarton goalless with Bonnyrigg, Stennismere 0, Elgin 1, and Stirling Albion 2, Stranraer 0.
I just like the effect that John Lundstrom's having on the game at the moment.
Yep.
He's allowing Charlie McCann to go and do what he wants. He's allowing Ryan Jack to go and support when he needs to, and he's also covering for James Tavernier in that right back position when he goes up
really
the pitch.
dictating it.
So he's really he's a pivotal part of what Rangers are trying to do in this game at the moment. He's very composed on the ball, but he also understands that his defensive duty as well. It's quite impressive to watch him.
There's Tavernier on the far side, finds Ryan Jack. More in their stride now. Rangers United had a good little 10-minute spell there. It's Rangers leading by a goal to nothing. It's Leon King just inside the United half, rolls it with the right foot to the left-hand side for Barisic on the touchline. Infield to Kent, back to King, and now Kent again. The Rangers supporters want the ball to be going forward a lot more often than it is, and then Jack takes his eye off it momentarily, allows McGrath to slide in, and they headed away by Ross Graham. And then Watt gives it back to Harks, but his ball forward's going to come all the way through to the 40-year-old Alan McGregor, who nicks it short to King. McGregor with those 2 penalty saves here against the Italian league leaders in the Champions League on Wednesday evening. Carl-Johan Eriksson comes a long way from his box, heads it out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. Just quickly taken by Barisic, who finds Lundstrom. Back to Barisic on this near side. Down the line for Kent to Barisic, and then back to Lundstrom.
concentration levels from Dundee United have to be through the roof at the moment, don't they, Neil? It's just because they're having to deal with so much movement, tempo they play, the intensity of Rangers. You know, I've been here in these games where you can't switch off for a minute. As soon as the ball goes out of play, I'm being impressed with how Rangers are getting in so quickly, similar to how Celtic are doing it. And it's just non-stop, but you know they're coping with it pretty well, and they're trying to mount attacks of their own, but really they cannot switch off for 1 second.
1-0 to Dumbarton against Bonnyrigg Rose at the Rock in League 2, as Barisic picks up on this near side with Rangers leading United by 1-0. Aberdeen and Livingston with Leeds as well in the Premiership, and Falkirk have gone ahead at East End Park against Dunfermline. No love lost between those two clubs. Dunfermline 0, Falkirk 1 in League 1. Here is Ryan Kent on the near side for Rangers, slipping it to the overlapping Barisic, who's level the 6-yard line, crosses in, headed away by Edwards, only as far as McCann. McGrath couldn't quite get it away, and Ryan Jack's shot there, snap effort, held on to by Eriksson, but the free kick's been given at the edge of the area, I think, for Dundee United in any case. 1-0 Rangers, 32nd minute here at Ibrox.
I think there was a little bump, Liam, on was it McGrath possibly, with Scott Arfield, and Ryan Jack followed it up. But you're right about the intensity. Rangers are moving it quick, but I would like to see them look forward more. Ryan Kent, Barisic, a little bit defensive minded rather than offensive minded. But you're right about the taxing situation that Rangers are putting Dundee United under, because as you know as well as I do, I've come here as an opposition player. The brain starts to take over the body, because mentally you get drained by constantly having to get into positions and not switch off, and then the brain starts telling the legs that you're knackered, and then that's when you stop running, and that's when you get hurt, and that's the problem that Dundee United have just now.
I think you look at it at the moment, Dylan Webb, it looks like he's latched on a wee bit more to, you know, Charlie McCann. I think Liam Fox has recognised that, and he's saying to him, you know, when they're in possession of the ball, can you latch on to him? Look, he's tracking him all the way back, and he's doing a lot of work in there, and Ian Hart's as well. It's not easy for him. I think they've got to grips with it a little bit better, and forcing Rangers down the side. That's what they've got to do. Here's
Tavernier for Rangers. Stranraer have pulled one back at Fourth Bank against Stirling Albion. 2-1 though still to the Beanos in League 2. Here on Sports Sound, it's Rangers with the cross. Tavernier, it's eased away by Ross Graham, and eventually falls to the feet of Tony Watt, midway inside his own half. Long ball looking for Middleton. Cushion header by Barisic though into the United half for Jack, who finds Cholak back out wide left for Barisic. Barisic, little touch there to Kent, level with the 18-yard line. He's attacking Ian Harks here, rolls it back to McCann. He's got it on the right foot. He was encouraged to shoot. He instead squares it to Lundstrom. His efforts blocked, and out it goes for a throw-in over on that far side to Rangers, level with the United 18.
He feels as if something's coming. The second goal for Rangers. United are getting to that point where they're starting to, you can see the shoulders starting to droop. They're losing a runner or two, but again when the ball came to Charlie McCann there, I thought he should have hit it first time. He just went for the secondary angle on it, and it was lost.
Lundstrom's cross there was headed clear, and out it goes for another Rangers throw-in on the far side, and about the midway point of the United half. 34 minutes played here. Rangers 1, United 0. Leeds also for Aberdeen and Livingston in the Premiership. Goalless in Johnston, Ross County, as Kent collects. Poor ball back towards Barisic, and it goes out of play for a Dundee United throw-in, but level the edge of their own penalty area here. Charlie Mulgrew trying to keep the troops going. He's offering some encouragement to his less experienced teammates. He's been here many times before, whether that be in Celtic or Aberdeen colours. He had that lone spell at Dundee United very early in his career as well. Of course, with that infamous altercation with Kyle Lafferty here in an Aberdeen shirt, as the offside flag goes up.
He's used his experience well there, Liam. We just saw that I think Connor Goldson took a step back. He was ready to play a longer ball, and he stepped up, and he's managed to catch Cholak offside. Yeah, he's massive. He's going to need to speak to those midfielders in front of him. He's going to need to let them know what's happening, and for a bit of encouragement as well. Like Neil says, like you've got to keep yourself, you know, going, because it is really tough. Your concentration levels need to be spot on in this game, and guys like Charlie Mulgrew at the back are really, you know, they need to show their experience.
United rock bottom of the table coming into this one. Yet to win in the league. Their 2 victories coming against Livingston in the League Cup and against AZ Alkmaar in the first leg of that Conference League qualifier. They've only scored 5 goals in their 9 games coming into this one, and Cholak's strike today was the 27th they've conceded. There's been another goal in the match between Raith and Ayr United. Remember, last we heard Rovers were 1-0 up against the league leaders. Derek Ferguson at Starks.
Yeah, they've got another one, Liam. It's a brilliant counter-attack, and it's finished with Stanton just driving into the box and then just thumping the ball into the back of the net. So league leaders falling 2 behind. It's Raith Rovers 2, Ayr United 0.
Meanwhile, East Fife have doubled their lead against Annan Athletic in League 2, as they look to try and put a bit of pressure on Dumbarton at the top of League 2. Of course, the Suns have been magnificent so far. Stirling Albion have gone 3-1 up against Stranraer now, with about 10 minutes to play of the first half. Across the board, albeit we're into the final 8.5 here. It's Eriksson. It's a bouncy, bobbly ball back towards him. He clears it though, and eventually it ends up in the chest of McGrath. What a wonderful bit of control. He's hauled back cynically by Tavernier, and that's going to be a free kick to United. And James Tavernier is going to be spoken to by Kevin Clancy here. Generally speaking, that kind of tug back to a yellow. I was about to say that.
It's a cynical one, isn't it?
He has got it.
Yeah, thought he would.
I think that's just bog standard rules, that, isn't it?
Yeah, he was quite casual though, wasn't he, Kevin Clancy? It was as if he was just pulling him back for a quiet word, but yeah, that's the right decision. Tavernier just got rolled, got too tight. McGrath did well to roll him and then start an attack, obviously pulled back. So yeah, straightforward decision. This is areas where I think they've let themselves down, Craig. They get a free kick halfway line, bodies forward, they take a shorter route, Rangers pounce on it and the chance is gone. So it looks like they're going to go a little bit more direct here.
Airdrieonians have gone 1-0 up against Clyde in League 1. 37.5 in. United free kick flicked on by Watt into the box, but Barisic gets there before Liam Smith, and he gets it back to his goalkeeper, who underarm bowls it to his captain. Tavernier back with McGregor, who moves it to the left of the box here for Leon King. He will be looking for an extended run in the Rangers team here. It's not like they're overflowing with left-sided centre backs just now, as Lundstrom moves it left to right of the centre circle there for Jack, out to Tavernier on that right hand side, moving in field, passing it short to Lundstrom, who sweeps it out to Barisic on the near side. Hibs 0, Aberdeen 1, Livingston 1, Kilmarnock 0, goalless St Johnstone, Ross County. 1-0 Rangers here, heading into the final 7 minutes of the first half. It's with Goldson, low ball side footed to Jack, under no pressure at the moment, stands in the ball, then rolls it back to Goldson, who shifts it right to left of the centre circle for King, who finds McCann, who is in that Northern Ireland under-21 squad for their matches in the international break that is up and coming. And we'll have full coverage of the Scotland games, 2 against Ukraine, either side of Republic of Ireland's visit to Glasgow next Saturday. Massive games, make no mistake about it, huge for Scotland, as Arfield plays it to the right for Ryan Jack, who's in the Scotland squad, and he's found McCann at the edge of the box. Hearts with a challenge though, really important tackle. The Rangers fans felt that McCann was fouled there at the edge of the area. I think Hearts had to time that perfectly. I think he did.
I think he did as well.
Yeah, I think so as well, but he got there a little, we're just talking about it, he found that little bit of space, he got there a little bit late, he did well in the end, but it's that little bit, it's that little bit of space that they're finding in between the lines again. But I thought Dundee United were quite asking Rangers go and then try and play around us, get down the side and trying to pick their moments to go and put a press on. They were just frustrating them a little bit there, and it's just when Rangers are just trying to pull them out of shape there. But I thought the shape's been pretty good from Dundee United in the last 10-15 minutes.
United have struggled generally this season, but they've struggled on their travels for a while now. They've only won 2 away league matches since last October's 3-0 victory at Hibernian, which is a fabulous result for them. They won at St Mirren in March and Ross County in May. Little joy on the road as far as victories are concerned in the Premiership since then.
It's incredible that.
Although Watts just taking it off Goldson and is driving forward, and Middleton's trying to get into a productive position, which he does, but it's a poor touch, and Lundstrom nicks it off. Sense the danger to the Rangers number 4. And he goes back and wins it back for his team as we go into the final 5 of the first half. Rangers 1, United 0.
It's a poor touch and brilliant from Lundstrom, but Tony Watt's pass has got to be crisper. It's got to be fired into Middleton so he can take a touch ahead of himself, and it was just a little bit slow, a little bit behind him, and he couldn't get it out his feet, could he?
1-1 between Dundee and Caley Thistle in the Championship. Arbroath leading 1-0 at Morton. Partick Thistle 1-0 up on Cove Rangers. Wraith Rovers 2, Ayr United 0. With Accies and Queen's Park level at 0-0. In League One, Airdrie Ionians 1, Clyde 0, goalless Alloa Montrose, Dunfermline 0, Falkirk 1, Peterhead 1, Kelty 0, goalless Queen of the South FC Edinburgh. In League 2, goalless Albion Rovers, Forfar heading towards half-time in all of these games. Annan 0, East Fife 2, Dumbarton 1, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stennismuir 0, Elgin City 1, and Stirling Albion 3, Stranraer 1. Leeds in the Premiership for Aberdeen, for Livingston, and here for Rangers. Goalless St Johnstone, Ross County. That's you up to date as it stands. bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. You'll get all the score lines there at any time. As Tavernier picks up on the far side, and it's shifted infield to Jack, who finds Barisic, who'll shift it out to this near side for Ryan Kent, midway inside the United half. Again, the Rangers fans want Kent to be more positive. He was this time. Spins away from Liam Smith, rolls it out wide left for Barisic, level with the edge of the D of the United box. McCann, little dummy for Kent, finds Barisic. Rangers knocking on the door, pulled back and then cleared by a sliding Hearts, who gets it back to Edwards, who plays it forward to Middleton, who finds Watt. Really good defending as Middleton goes on the chase after Watt's pass, but there's a foul by Middleton on King. Rangers 1, Dundee United 0. 42 minutes on the clock here at Ibrox, and I believe we're going to go back into the Scottish Cup momentarily as Glenn Middleton picks up a yellow card for that challenge. Neil will get back to you in just a moment, because we're going to get an update on Kilwinning Rangers against Trinent Juniors.
Yeah, it's now Kilwinning Rangers 1, Trinent Juniors 2. Liam, the hosts have pulled one back, and it's a brilliant low finish by Mark Lamont just ahead of half-time to bring this tie alive once again. Kilwinning Rangers 1, Trinent Juniors 2.
The Beanos are going tonto by the looks of things. Is that just getting a bit of news coming in from that match in League 2? Yep, Stirling Albion 4, Stranraer 1. Here comes Barisic driving forward to left-hand side of the United box. Low ball to Cholak on the turn on the 18-yard line. Mulgrew managing to get that one away as Queen of the South take the lead against FC Edinburgh late in the first half at Palmerston in League 1. Here's Ryan Jack rolling it out to Tavernier. It's a misunderstanding between the two. The Rangers fans didn't like that one. 43 minutes just about played here. United throwing on the far side. 1-0 Rangers, 43 on the clock.
Yeah, Arfield wanted it to defeat. Jack tried to roll Tavernier, but it was too strong. But Middleton picked up a yellow card for a cute foul, obviously, because he knew that the push pass from Tony Watt was too far. He tried to take King out, making it look like an accident. Kevin Clancy booked him. McGregor's going mental because he wants to play advantage. But what I want to go back to is Ryan Kent getting a cheer for taking someone on. That shows you how frustrated the Rangers fans are. All they want the winger to do is take people on, and I'm actually feeling sorry for him a little bit, because you can see he's totally devoid of confidence, and it shows you when the fans are giving him a cheer for just actually spinning the fullback Smith and going forward with the ball.
There's a Rangers player down over on the far side. I think there's going to be some medical
looks fine,
attention.
Doesn't
It's Cholak, is it? Yeah. Why is that, Neil, then? Why is that?
Because they're so frustrated.
But from Ryan Kent's point of view, is it just an accumulation of poor games that's in product, Neil?
Listen, I've got to say, as a coach, you should be saying, listen, you have to take him on. If you don't take him on, I'm taking you off. There's no point in you being on the pitch. I've got somebody that can turn back and play a pass inside. And I'm actually now thinking that he's maybe a little bit reluctant because he doesn't fancy himself. But I hope he does, because he's got all the tools, and that's why the fans want him to do it, because they believe he can do it.
Final minute of the first half here. Rangers have a free kick. Tavernier into the United box, headed away by Watt, and out for a throw-in on the far side. Liam Fox will just be desperate for his team not to concede a second here and still be in the game when they come back over that line for the second half. But here's Tavernier with the cross ball. Cholak with a header back towards Lundstrom, and it's cleared by Edwards.
Should have hit it, shouldn't he have?
Frustration from the Rangers supporters again as the long clearance. Watt's chasing it. King will get there first, and he rolls it back to Alan McGregor, who knocks it first time to Connor Goldson. Final few seconds of the 45 minutes, but it looks as though David Munro has the board in his hand, the fourth official. There's going to be some injury time as Tavernier dinks it forward towards Čolak, who heads for goal, and Eriksson holds on. There was no offside flag there against Antonio Čolak, but it stays 1-0 Rangers.
I think it might have been raised. I don't know if the linesman or the assistant referee was going to raise that just after he was going to see what was happening. But just before that, Čolak does really well at the back post, gets up, knocks it back across into Lundström Faf, and he arrives at the right time. He just has to put his left foot through the ball. Yeah, definitely. Not confident, obviously, with that left foot in the ball, and wanted to take a touch, but you don't get that time in the box. And Dundee United have been quite impressive in terms of how they've been getting blocks in, tackles in the box. Ian Hart's in particular, he's got himself back into some great positions, and they look a bit more solid in terms of the defending their own box, and they're defending it a lot better today.
There's been something about Dundee United today, and that's been for that little period there of, what was it, 4 or 5 games, there simply was nothing there. 1 minute of added time. Incidentally, we're heading towards the end of that. United in possession. Smith with the cross ball. Harkes attacks it, gets his head to it, and McGregor just manages to prevent it from crossing the line there. It was dropping right underneath his bar as the half-time whistle goes. Half-time wrap from here, and then you'll get a half-time update from across the country with all the other scores in the Premiership, Championship and Leagues 1 and 2. And the half-time wrap from here is that Rangers have a 1-0 lead given to them by Antonio Čolak's 8th goal in Rangers colours on his birthday as well. He's 29 today. It was a good counter-attacking build-up, but it all came from a Dundee United corner. That will infuriate the United management team. Tavernier bursting down the right after Harkes was robbed by the Rangers skipper. Bounded down that right-hand side, low ball in. McCann was there as well. Eventually it fell at the feet of Čolak, who took a touch and rifled it low into the bottom left corner to give Rangers what was an early lead. That goal coming on 8 minutes. They had chances from Kent and Arfield before that to go ahead. So United rode their luck a little bit in the early stages of the game, but they too have had chances, most notably for Glenn Middleton, who burst down the right-hand side of the box, firing the effort at Alan McGregor, who saved with his right boot. Ryan Jack tested Eriksson. Arfield hit a shot which went just wide as well. In what has been a relatively entertaining first half, United, a little bit more about them in the last few matches. Rangers just desperate to pick up the 3 points to cut into Celtic's lead at the top of the table. Half-time at Ibrox is Rangers 1, Dundee United 0.
The Scottish Premiership.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
So a 1-goal advantage for Rangers. Let's get to Will the Miller at Easter Road. Real drama there approaching the break, Willie.
It certainly is, Kenny. Liam Scales has been sent off for a second bookable offence, and Hibs were awarded a penalty. You can hear in the background the Hibs supporters rejoicing in the fact that Boyle has just slipped the ball into the back of the net to give Hibs the equaliser just right on the half-time whistle. But it was a cross from a corner that came into the box, and Scales was all over the top of Porteous. The referee decided it was a free kick because it was impeding the centre back. He went to ground, he pointed to the spot. Martin Boyle stepped up after a long piece of arguing between the Aberdeen players and the referee, and Boyle just slipped it into the back of the net.
Is it a fair reflection on play in that first half, Willie?
It is, yeah. I think if Hibs went in, 1-0 down, then it wouldn't have reflected the play. Hibs have, recovered well from that early goal scored by Duke, cross from the left-hand side. A kind of a header off the side of his head into the top far corner. And since then, it's been Hibs that have created the opportunity. Porteous had a great chance, should have done much better. It fell to him on the ground. He swiped at it with the left foot, mishit it completely. It fell to Johan, and Johan almost on the line. He was offside, but somehow he couldn't put it into the back of the net. If he had put it in the back of the net, it would have been ruled as an offside. But it was some miss, a very unusual type of miss from about a yard out. So they've pushed all the way. Hibs have pushed all the way. Aberdeen have been, not a force in the Hibs half. So I think if it goes in 1-1, and it certainly looks like that as we're just playing the last few seconds of the first half, then I think that is a fair result at half-time.
Thank you to Willie Lamb. We've just been watching the pictures come in. Real drama. Your thoughts on that penalty award and the sending off?
Yeah, it's a penalty for me, Kenny. It's one that we see an awful lot, right enough, and it's not always given. You know, centre-backs grappling inside the box, trying to defend their area, a set piece. And this time, Liam Scales very silly to do that type of action, following the yellow card quite quickly. So second yellow for him and he's off. And Martin Boyle was the player that stepped up to round off. So far a good week for him, because I know his second, his baby daughter was born through the week. So a huge day for him, and sure an intense week. But that's the fourth time this season now as well that Hibs will have a player advantage, Kenny. Player sent off in the St Johnstone match, which they went on to win. Rangers, 2 players sent off, they get a point out of that. Kilmarnock were down to 10 players, they get 3 points in that day, and now today they get at half time, which is probably a fair reflection, as Willie said. 1-1 and that player advantage for 45 minutes.
Yeah, they'll fancy their chances in the second half. Will Lee Johnson's men 1-1 then at Easter Road. Let's get back to our commentary team at Ibrox. Rangers with advantage here at half time. Craig Easton, Neil McCann and Liam McLeod.
I'll just fade my own microphone up here because the engineer's gone away for his
impressed that you know how to do that, Liam.
See the amount of multitasking I've been doing this week, honestly.
You've had a busy week, son, I'll tell you.
Right, OK, where are we? Rangers 1, Dundee United 0 at half-time here. Antonio Cholak scoring on his 29th birthday, his 8th goal in Rangers colours, after United had themselves a corner up the other end. It dropped Ian Harkes on the far side of the pitch. He dilly-dallied on it. Tavernier nicked it off him, raced forward, slipped it into the penalty area, and Antonio Cholak took a touch, and his second touch was to ram it home into the bottom left corner of the net. United have been much better than the last time I saw them, certainly. I know they've been better the last 2 games, including their League Cup win at Livingston. The draw at Motherwell looked a little bit more solid. Middleton had their best chance shot straight at McGregor. But the truth is, Craig Easton, Neil McCann, if you're watching this one with me, that Rangers could have had more. Arfield has had a chance, he's had 2 opportunities. Kent's had a couple of chances. Jack had a shot saved by Eriksson. Rangers deservedly in front.
Deserved in front, and it was actually before they scored their first goal that they had the best opportunities. They started really well. Dundee United didn't get to grips with the movement and the players, particularly Charlie McCann coming off the front, finding good areas, and they were kind of too open, even though they're talking about them being compact in terms of the game on. We've been very short vertically, horizontally in terms of spaces in between them. There was too much space for people to drop into, receive the ball in the middle of the park and try and Rangers played through them on a few occasions. They kind of got to grips with that a little bit. In the last 20 minutes was a lot better from Dundee United. Liam Fox has got to be impressed with the way they've been more resilient in terms of the defending. And you know what? They should have been like that against Celtic. They shouldn't have just crumbled. Yes, Celtic were on top form. They're an incredible machine once they get going. But you know, Rangers started the game really well, and we kind of feared for them a little bit. And feared for Dundee United in terms of if they'd lost any more goals, what was going to happen. But I think Liam's got to be happy with how they've sort of shored that up. I know, like you said to them, they've had a couple of opportunities themselves. Glenn Middleton's been good, Tony Watt's been an outball, and they've had a couple of chances themselves.
I think the longer that Dundee United stay in the game at 1-0, they're liable to get more chances because they are being brave about it. Can see Liam Fox is wanting to try and be composed at the back, draw Rangers to them, miss them out for that front 3 and try and maximise opportunities. What I would say is that you're always going to give up opportunities if you have got so much possession of the football and you're pressing so hard to try and get that second goal, and you're always liable to a counter-attack, just like Dundee United put too many forward. But Rangers have got the cutthroat ability to hurt them, and that's where their advantage is.
Half-time, Rangers 1, United 0.
Thanks to Liam and the team there at Ibrox. Let's then get to Amon Vale, Livingston against Kilmarnock. The half-time report from Rory Loy.
Yes, indeed, it's 1-0 to Livingston. From what I've watched in the first half, Kenny, that's a scoreline which I feel reflects fairly on how the first half went. A lot of talk on the show earlier about recruitment. I'll tell you something, David Martindale's success rate when it comes to recruitment can't be too shabby at all. Bambula, Guthrie, Nubley, all contributing very, very well in the first half. Nubley, I tell you, at times they can't handle him. Kilmarnock, he's strong, he's good with the ball at his feet, he can run past a player, he wins headers. Really, really good player who, for me, will go on to play at a much higher level, in my opinion. No disrespect to Livingston. In terms of the game itself, Livingston have had really good passages of play throughout, not led to too much clear-cut chances, and funnily enough, the goal did actually come direct from a set piece. It was whipped in the 27th minute by Kelly, and Montano rose highest to head home to put the Lions 1-0 up. Other than that, on 12 minutes, Montano popped the ball into Guthrie, played it back to Nubley, who played through to Omiyonga, who missed a one-on-one with the goalkeeper with a pretty poor finish, I must say. Kilmarnock have threatened at times through Armstrong on the right-hand side, but haven't really shown too much, I must say. Livingston are well worth their 1-0 lead. On the 11th minute, though, Obalai did have one of the most impressive clearances I've ever seen. He cleared the stadium with his clearance, so let's hope everyone's got their windows intact when they return to their cars at 5 o'clock. But it is half-time here, and it is 1-0 to Livingston.
Yeah, I've seen that happen a few times actually at that stadium. Just in the current live Premiership table, Livingston up in third. What a job Davy Martindale is doing there. They have the half-time advantage. Let's then get to McDermott Park St Johnstone against Ross County with Alan Preston.
Well, it's goalless, Kenny, at half-time, and it started really well this game. A really good move on the right-hand side. Finally, Dre Wright's on the ball and he cuts it back to Stevie May, and his shot smashed off the inside of the post and away. 3 minutes later, it was County's turn to attack. Akio hits the bar. He got the ball on the right-hand side. He runs inside, gets a break of the ball, comes back to him, and then he hits it, and it smashes off the underside of the bar. Clearly not over the line and bounces away. Then Legbe with a good driving run, but pulled his shot wide. And then in the 30th minute, a Halbert corner. Considine was getting mad. It managed to get a shot off. A volley well saved, and then the flag went up just before Nicky Clark could boot the ball into the back of the net. It's been not too bad. St Johnstone playing some nice stuff. Ross County look a danger with their front three. The half-time score, St Johnstone 0, Ross County 0.
So in the top flight, Hibs 1, Aberdeen 1, Livingston 1, Kilmarnock 0, Rangers 1, Dundee United 0, and as Alan telling us here at McDermott Park, it is goalless. Let's get into the Championship. What a run Partick Thistle have been on. They're at home to Cove Rangers this afternoon, watched by Chick Young.
Yeah, 1-0 to the Jags at half-time, Kenny, but I tell you what, it should be many times more than that, at least 3 or 4. They've been all over Cove Rangers the first half. The only goal came from Stevie Lawless. Wonderful left foot shot from inside the box, rattled off the crossbar, down and over the line. But before that, chances twice for Tiffany. Brian Graham with a chance as well. And there's only been one real opportunity, maybe two, for Cove Rangers. Mitch Megginson through, he was fouled inside the box. I thought he delayed it with his shot, couldn't capitalise on that. And then there was an effort from the left side, Jamie Masson with a curling shot that the goalkeeper it was a ball into the box, but it took an evil spin and it tormented David Mitchell to put it round the post. That's all that Cove have had to offer, really. Thistle have been well worthy of the lead they've got, although it only is, and that was the only thing that worried Ian McCall, 1 goal in the first half. They've been all over Cove Rangers, playing some terrific football, and I think they are going to be contenders for this championship title at the end of the season. They're playing really well, but only 1-0 ahead. That's the worry for the manager. That's the scoreline at half-time, Kenny.
Thanks to Chick there at Firhill. Let's get to Starts Park. Raith Rovers against Ayr United and Derek Ferguson.
Yes, Kenny, league leaders trailing at the moment. It's Raith Rovers 2, Ayr United 0. Raith were certainly the dominant side right from the start. They took the lead 8 minutes in. It was good build-up play, ending with Kyle Connell producing a calm finish from 12 yards out to get his first goal of the season. The league leaders, they were so unlucky not to equalise on the half hour. It was Akinyemi thumping the post from a 22-yard free kick with the keeper rooted to the spot. Ayr were starting to have more of the ball, but were caught out by a brilliant counter-attack on 35 minutes. Raith breaking away, and it was from a corner against with a 4v2 in their favour, and it was Easton laying in the overlap and Sam Stanton to strike home from just inside the box. It could have been 3-0 right on the break. Again it was Stanton busting into the box but dragging his shot just wide of the target. So a bit of a surprise here at the moment. It's Raith Rovers 2, Ayr United 0.
Yes, as things stand, Ayr dropped to second in the table. Chick telling us about Partick Thistle. They currently are top of the championship table. Let's then get to Dens Park. Dundee against Inverness Cally Thistle. There for us, Gavin Wallace.
Dundee 1, Inverness 2. Kenny, frantic, sloppy, scrappy with a side of meaty challenges is the way to describe this game. Couple of goals in 5 minutes or so. The this afternoon. On the 10th minute, Paul McMullen corner landed into a congested penalty area. Classic Stramash was met by Ryan Sweeney. He tapped home for his first of the season. 5 minutes later, just on the quarter hour, Cameron Harper with what could be goal of the month contender. It was a poorly cleared corner. It landed at the feet of the 20-year-old, and his strike was right into the postage stamp. And then right on the death of the first half, Cameron Harper was brought down by goalkeeper Harrison Sharp. Billy Mackay stepped up and did exactly what he does from the spot, dispatched perfectly. Dundee 1, Cali Thistle 2.
So in the Championship, Dundee 1, Inverness Cali Thistle 2, Hamilton Accies 0, Queen's Park 1, Morton 0, Arbroath 2, Partick Thistle 1, Cove Rangers 0, Wraith Rovers 2, Ayr United 0. Into League 2, the half-time scores: Albion Rovers 0, Forfar 0, Annan 0, East Fife 2, Dumbarton 1, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stenhousemuir 1, Elgin City 1, and Stirling Albion 4, Stranraer 1. And the League 1 scores for you: Airdrie 1, Clyde 0, Alloa 0, Montrose 0, Dunfermline 0, Falkirk 1, Peterhead are 1-0 up at home to Kelty Hearts, but the home side are down to 10 men, and Queen of the South 1, FC Edinburgh 0. Let's get in then to the first round of the Scottish Cup. Kilwinning Rangers against Trinent Juniors. There for us, Kenny Crawford.
Thanks, Kenny. Really feisty first round tie, this one. Half-time score: Kilwinning Rangers 2, Trinent Juniors 2. It looked like the side from the East, Trinent, were in easy street after 20 minutes because they were 2-0 up through Sean Rutherford's brilliant free kick and Ben Miller's penalty. Trinent, incidentally managed by Colin Nish, the former Hibernian and Kilmarnock striker. But then just before half-time there was another couple of quick-fire goals, this time for the home side. Mark Lamont scored a nice close-range finish, and then Dylan Mackin, former Livingston and Motherwell striker, equalised for the spot. So this one poised nicely for the second half. Kilwinning Rangers 2, Trinent Juniors 2.
Football from Sports Sound.
Brilliant drop of the shoulder.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
Last night in the Cup, a 6-0 victory for Pollok against Huntly, and in the early kick-off, a 5-1 victory for Brecon City over Genefield Swiss. We'll get the Scottish Cup scorelines to you later in the programme. Our commentary this afternoon comes from Ibrox Park. Let's get back to our team there: Neil McCann, Craig Easton and Liam McLeod.
It's the 92nd league meeting between these two at Ibrox. Rangers winning 63 to United's 13. United haven't won a league game here since the 2nd of April 2011. They won 3-2, twice coming from behind to do so, as Rangers get the second half underway, shooting left to right, blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops. United in their tangerine shirts, black shorts, tangerine socks. They go right to left, shooting towards the Broomloan Road end of the stadium, if you know it, as Kent is fouled over on the far side. No changes to either team at the start of the second half, so it's McGregor in goal for the hosts, Tavernier, Goldson, King and Barisic, McCann, Jack Lundstrom, Arfield and Kent and Cholak. For United, it's Eriksson in goal, Edwards, Mulgrew and Graham, Smith and BH either side, Levitt, Harks in the middle, with Middleton and McGrath supporting Watt. And it's United coming forward. Down goes Tony Watt, right hand side of the box. Kevin Clancy's a look at it, but signals for a goal kick only in the opening minute of the second half. It was Barisic with the challenge. It stays Rangers 1, United 0.
Well, for me it was Glenn Middleton. Good play down the right hand side again. He slips in Tony Watt, and I think Barisic just uses his body. Tony Watt is looking for it. He goes down. Listen, we've probably seen them given, but I think Kevin Clancy was right on the ball. He noticed that Tony Watt was playing for it. I think it's the right decision.
Yeah, but it trace it back to starting really slack. Barisic with a poor ball inside, then he's done with a run. And there is contact, whether it's his arm or his elbow on the back of Tony Watt, but I think he's maybe on his way down already. But give the referee an opportunity, and because of Clancy's position, Barisic is almost in between Clancy, the referee Clancy, and Tony Watt. I mean, it could have easily have been given, but it comes from the slack play of Borna Barisic, not the way to start the second half.
Well, since that game in 2011, they have managed a couple of wins against Rangers. 2012, following year at Tannadice. They won here in a Scottish Cup semi-final, in fact, at Ibrox to Dundee United, for losing the final to St Johnstone. And of course, Jamie Robson's goal inflicted Rangers' first league defeat for a long time. The start of last season, Tannadice, as Cholak comes forward for Rangers, right hand side of the box, low ball in, cut out there by the skipper Edwards, who puts it out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. It's now with John Lundstrom, rolls it back to Tavernier on this near side again. 47 in. Tavernier's pass is loose though. Straight to Ian Harkes. United have it here. BH will get it back on this near side. He's in the Australia squad. They've got a friendly double-header against New Zealand coming up. Long way to go for a friendly. A couple of friendlies. And there's a good few in Scottish football who are playing for the Socceroos as well. As Lundstrom gets away from Levitt, he's at the edge of the box, thought about the shot, rolls it into Colak instead. He's on the turn back to goal, swivels, his shot is blocked, and it's flicked up into the air by McGrath on the near side, and only as far as James Tavernier. Back to Goldson, to Tavernier, infield it goes, cleared by Ian Harkes on the edge of his own penalty area before Ryan Jack flicks it forward to Arfield at the right angle of the box. And then back up the line for Jack on the near side. BH with the challenge, and out it goes for a Rangers throw-in, which will be taken by James Tavernier. It goes all the way back to Leon King. Cali Thistle 2-1 up on Dundee in the Championship, but good scoreline that for the Cali Jags right at the end of the first half. That one went in. 2-0 Arbroath against Morton. That's just an updated score as Rangers come forward and Colak flicks it home. Barisic left-hand side of the box with a cross. Colak got the slightest of touches onto it as he celebrates his second of the afternoon. It is Rangers' second of the afternoon, and it is Rangers 2, Dundee United 0.
Borna Barisic with a trademark cross in a high area. Kent's inside. He tries to bend it around. I'm not sure if it took the slightest nick, maybe off of Smith, I'm not sure. But Colak doesn't mess around. He always is in and around the goals, the width of the goals. He just gets slightly across the front post. Not quite sure if it comes up his thigh or maybe using his body, Liam, but nonetheless it's in the back of the net. It's so simple.
Great timing of his run, Neil. Colak, he just gets off the shoulder. I think he just comes in behind Charlie Mulgrew and he just times that perfectly. That run to the front post, it's a basic run, isn't it? It's the one you coach your strikers up front post run. Can you get across? Can you see the number of the defender that you're playing against? And Barisic's cross was excellent. Whipped it round Liam Smith. Good finish.
I was just going through the score lines there. We'll get to them in just a moment. United coming forward, looking to get the cross in. It's headed away by Goldson. Picked up here as the effort from Ross Graham is blocked. Here's BH, the edge of the Rangers box, turns it out to the left for McGrath, level with the 18-yard line, threads the ball towards Harkes. Backtracking's Jack though, and he gets there first. Back to Goldson, and he goes long up to this near side. Colak chasing after it. Edwards goes down. Free kick will go Dundee United's way. So in the Premiership 1-1, Hibs against 10-man Aberdeen. Livingston 1-0 up on Kilmarnock. 2-0 here at Ibrox to Rangers 0-0 still. St Johnstone County. Dundee 1, Cali Thistle 2, Morton 0, Arbroath 2, Accies 0, Queen's Park 1, Partick Thistle 1, Cove Rangers 0, Wraith Rovers 2, Ayr United 0. League 1, Ayr Dreonians 1, Clyde 0, goalless Alloa Montrose, Dunfermline 0, Falkirk 1, Peterhead 1, Kelty Hearts 0, Queen of the South 1, FC Edinburgh 0. And in League 2, goalless Albion Rovers Forfar, Annan 0, East 5-2, Dumbarton 1, Bonnyrigg 0, Stenhousemuir 1, Elgin City 1, and Stirling Albion 4, Stranraer 1. As United pick up left of the centre circle with Ross Graham.
You know, and Dundee United are going to be really disappointed about losing that goal so early on in the second half. We've just been speaking about, can you frustrate them a little bit longer? Can you frustrate Rangers? Keep it at 1-0. Give yourself a chance. Stay in the game. You know, and it's not like they've given that goal away. It's good play by Rangers, but you've got to come out and be a little bit stronger. You stop those crosses, you know, track those runners, and unfortunately Dundee United have just lost a goal. When we were thinking at the end of the first half that they were sort of getting to grips with how Rangers were playing, you know, they've got to start again and try and get another foothold in the game.
Kelty Hearts have just equalised against Peterhead, who are down to 10 men as well. Kisuka sent off towards the end of the first half. O'Keefe had given them a very early lead. Kelty have just equalised though at Balmoor as Connor Goldson picks up. It's a long flighted ball out to the far side for Kent. He can't keep it in play, and out it goes for a Dundee United throw-in level with the edge of the centre circle. It's a massive blow for Liam Fox and his players, losing that second goal so early in the second half as we approach the 52nd minute here at Ibrox. It's a throw-in for United, just taken by Edwards up to halfway, stooping to head it back into the United half. Barisic breaks to Lundstrom, who moves it left to right of the circle here for Tavernier, who goes back to John Lundstrom. Marauding into the United half, rolls it to the left for Barisic, who teed up Colak for the second. The two Croatians It's now with Kent, left-hand side, it's the cross in, headed away by Mulgrew. Levitt moves it back to Harkes, who clears. Tony Watt directs his header into the path of Levitt, who decides to sweep it back to BH, who steps away from Arfield and rolls it back to his goalkeeper Eriksson, who clears with the right foot. 52.5 on the clock. Rangers leading by 2-0 now. Massive blow for United right at the start of the second half there. That's what I'm sure the caretaker United manager would have been saying. Don't concede anything too early in the second half. Stay in the game. Try and keep it alive for as long as possible. As Liam Smith drives down the right-hand side for United. Here's Middleton picking it up level with the 18-yard line. Rolls it back to Watt. Will then switch the play out to Aziz Behich on this near side. Controls well, up against Tavernier. Moves into the box, runs into Tavernier though. And it's an easy one for Rangers to defend in the end. It's now with Arfield back to Tavernier, who clears with the right foot. Controlled here by Ross Graham on this near side. And the up and under forward for Aziz Behich, who goes down. And it's come off him last and out for a throw in here to Rangers. And there's been another goal at Firhill for Chick Young to watch. Partick Thistle against Cove Rangers.
Yeah, another goal for Partick Thistle as well. Stuart Bannigan, the scorer. It's been all Thistle again since the restart. They've been all over Cove as they were in the first half. Worthy of a more than a 1-goal lead. It's now 2 goals. Bannigan, the ball came across from the left side. Bannigan kind of in the inside right position, just turned in it and drove it low beyond the goalkeeper Kyle Gourley. He got a touch, not enough, and it's Partick Thistle who have a worthy 2-0 lead over Cove Rangers at Firhill.
And Queen's Park have gone 2-0 up against Accies, and there's been another goal at Starks Park, Derek.
United getting one back. Substitute Brad Young from close range, just prodding at home. So it's now it's now Wraith Rovers 2, Ayr United 1.
League leaders back in it then. In Queen's Park, well, it's Grant Savoury who's got that goal for them, and in the as it stands table, the Spiders up to 3rd. And just a point behind Ayr United. Partick Thistle, as it stands, would hit the top of the championship. Here's Dundee United with Middleton poking it forward, looking for the underlapping run of Liam Smith. Barisic is there, and he clears out for a throw in. 54.5 on the clock. Rangers 2-0 up. United need the next goal. They need the next goal to make this a contest again. And Smith picks up on the far side. So at level the edge of the D of the Rangers box. Back to Middleton, and then infield to Liam Smith. Looks up, right foot ball, looping into the area. Will sail behind for a goal kick as we approach 55 minutes. 2-0 Rangers.
They need the next goal, Liam. Dundee United. They also need to have a bit of possession in the Rangers half.
It's Rangers who have possession in the United half right now, with Antonio Cholak on this near side. His cross cut out by Graham, and that goes behind for a throw-in down by the corner flag off to our right here for Tavernier to take.
Yeah, I was just saying that. I think they have to keep the ball a little bit better, and not every attack needs to be a chance on goal. They can maybe hold the ball a little bit, give themselves a little bit of a breather on the ball, and then something might open up for them. I think every time they get in the Rangers half, they think they have to put a cross in or a shot or something like that, and they maybe just need a little bit more patience round about the Rangers box.
Barisic out to the left-hand side for Kent, level the edge of the D of the United box now, over on the touchline in front of the Sandy Jardine Govan stand. It's moved back to Barisic, infield to John Lundstrom. Tries to arch the ball to Tavernier, he's found him as well. Tavernier holding off his man, now back to Goldson, forward into the box for Arfield. Beaten to it by Ross Graham, as Aziz Behich picks up. He hoops it forward into the central area with the left foot, but it's gone to Barisic rather than Middleton. Barisic gets it back from McCann. Rolled by Barisic, left-hand side for Kent. Chops back onto the right foot. Across, in for goal. Eriksson gets a touch onto it. Wasn't decisive, and Cholak was very close to a birthday hat-trick there. Rangers have to settle for the corner. They lead 2-0.
Yeah, Eriksson wasn't all that convincing. I mean, it wasn't a brilliant shot or well directed by Kent, but positive from him chopping inside and at least taking the effort on. But Eriksson just padded it down in front of his 6-yard box, and there was Cholak. Unfortunately for him, it just had gone behind him.
Dunfermline level, a Benedictus penalty, cancelling out Callum Morrison's opener in the first half. Dunfermline 1, Falkirk 1. In comes the Tavernier corner. There's the header, headed clear on the 6-yard line by Dylan Levitt, as Behich tries to just put it out for a Rangers throw, and he's succeeded in doing that. Throw in Rangers taken by Tavernier. Back to Scott Arfield, who finds Lundstrom. Lundstrom coming forward. I think United are going to make a change in just a moment. We'll get to that shortly. As the cross comes in, and again it's played into the United box by Barisic. He found Colak, his header goes wide. Eriksson, you heard Neil McCann, was absolutely nowhere near that one. And the change will be made, and it looks as though we're going to bring on Sadat Anaku here, or Dundee United. And he's going to replace Glenn Middleton, who's United's best chance in that first half. His effort saved by the foot of Alan McGregor. 57.5 played, Rangers 2, Dundee United 0. And on comes Sadat Anaku.
Yeah, I just wonder whether the shape will change. McGrath looks like he's going out to the right side where Middleton operated. And we're now looking like as if it's two strikers up top, Craig.
Yeah, he's putting Sadat Anaku through with Tony Watt, maybe just trying to stretch the game a little bit. Ollie Watt just to come into that little position, maybe off the front, that he's maybe more used to doing for Dundee United than linking the play. But yeah, listen, he's got to try something. And then Sadat Anaku looks like he's got a bit of pace, he's got some legs, and he's going to be another test for the Rangers defenders.
Yeah, and he's on it here. Anaku just slipping it to McGrath, right hand side. It's Smith who shoots. It's a goal. Dundee United score. Liam Smith's efforts deflected high into the roof of the net, and Dundee United are right back in this contest. 58 minutes played. The United supporters celebrate. It is Rangers 2, Dundee United 1.
What an impact that is from Sadat Anaku. He links the ball 2 or 3 times, little flicks round the corner, 1-2s, ends up that Liam Smith's the man over on the other side, and you know, Liam Smith, excellent run, supporting the play, and his shot isn't excellent, but it's enough to beat Alan McGregor. I think he gets a touch on it and puts it into the net. But I tell you what, Sadat Anaku, what an impact that is as a substitution.
Well, he's quick, he's aggressive. He just sparked Dundee United into a little bit more life. But I always felt, as much as Rangers are starting to enjoy possession, you still feel that there's a vulnerability about them when United have gone forward. And I know you're saying it was a great move, and it wasn't a lethal finish. It did escape Alan McGregor's. I think it was his right boot maybe, but the pace of the pass that allows Smith to step onto that and hit it first time was so crucial, because Barisic had been drawn in, Smith on the outside, and Dundee United will feel that because of that goal, because of maybe a change of shape, pace up top with Tony Watt, they might just have something that they can get from the game. Rangers again need to react to it positively.
Alloa have gone 1-0 up in League One at the Rex against Montrose. Sustains their goal. Here come Rangers down the left. It's a clip ball into the area, and it evades Ryan Jack only just. Breaks to Tavernier, right hand side of the box, swings it in again, headed clear by Edwards. So crucial for United that they don't concede here. Barisic with the ball in, blocked by the United goal scorer Smith. Picked up by Watt and then shifted back to him by Levitt. Watt now to Baich. Baich on this near side. Remember, Rangers were 2-0 up against Motherwell here last season and dropped a couple of points. So it is a relatively recent example of them throwing away a 2-0 lead at home. And here's McCann for Rangers. Rolls it low out to Ryan Kent on the left, level with the 18-yard line, dancing into the penalty area, a little step over, drops the shoulder on the right foot. He tries to knock it back, and United are able to clear their lines, and it goes out to play over on the far side, and we can go now, I think, to another goal at Dens Park. Gavin Wallace.
Dundee 2, Inverness Cali Thistle 2. Liam Connor played back in. McMillan was the man that headed it to put it towards goal, and it was turned in on the line by Joe Grayson. 2 each here at Dens Park.
In the Premiership, 1-1 between Hibs and Aberdeen. Livingston leading Kilmarnock by a goal to nothing. 0-0 between St Johnstone and Ross County. Rangers 2, Dundee United 1 here on the hour mark at Ibrox. I'll run you through the other scorelines in just a moment. John Lundstrom in possession for Rangers. Switch of play out here to James Tavernier. Looks up at the United box, finds Colak, first time. Jack, level with the 6-yard line, crosses in, headed away by Charlie Mulgrew. Ryan Jack trying to keep it alive for Rangers down by the corner flag. Back up the line for Tavernier. Tavernier side foots it back into the middle of the pitch. Connor Goldson sweeps it right to left of the centre circle for Barisic. 61 on the clock. Barisic gets it back from Kent, driving forward down the left hand side of the United box. His cross is cut out, bouncing around inside the area. It's alive for McCann to the edge of the box. It's Lundstrom, and it's deflected out to this near side for a throw in right down by the corner flag for Rangers, which James Tavernier takes very quickly. Now it's with Jack back to Tavernier. Tavernier to Lundstrom, and then back out to this touchline for Ryan Jack on the main stand side. Finds John Lundstrom, and he goes back here to Leon King. Let's get an update on Kilwinning Rangers against Trinent Juniors, shall we? Kenny Crawford in the Scottish Cup.
unbelievable turnaround in North Ayrshire, Liam, because from being 2-0 down, co-winning Rangers now lead by 4 goals to 2 against Trinent Juniors. It was 2-2 at half-time, but in the last few minutes, Kieran Wood has scored from close range, and Dylan Mackin has got his second goal of the game from the spot, 4-2.
Sedat Anaku driving forward for United. Rangers careless in possession. Tony Watt driving forward. Goldson will get there first. He's gone down trying to win the free kick, and Kevin Clancy duly obliges and gives Rangers the free kick just to the right-hand side of their box. 62.5 played. Rangers leading by 2-1. 1-1 Hibs Aberdeen, 1-0 Livingston against Kilmarnock, 0-0 St Johnstone County. In the Championship, 2-2 Dundee Inverness, Morton 0 Arbroath 2, Accies 0 Queen's Park 2, Partick Thistle 2, Cove Rangers 0, Wraith Rovers 2, Ayr United 1. In League 1, Airdrieonians 1, Clyde 0, Alloa 1, Montrose 0, Dunfermline 1, Falkirk 1, Peterhead 1, Kelty Hearts 1, Queen of the South 1, FC Edinburgh 0, and in League 2, Albion Rovers 0, Forfar 1, Annan 0, East Fife 2, Dumbarton 1, Bonnyrigg 0, Stenhousemuir 2, Elgin City 2, and Stirling Albion 4, Stranraer 1. And that is you bang up to date across all 4 SPFL divisions. You can keep up to date with the scorelines at any time at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland. This is Sports Sound across the frequencies on BBC Radio Scotland, on digital, online, at BBC Sounds, and with BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker. And Dundee United have a tantalising looking free kick over on the far side touchline, level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box as they attack the goal to the left. Whipped into the area, and it comes, headed clear by Goldson. BH keeps it alive, nodding the ball back to Levitt. Now to BH again, who goes back to Liam Smith. There's a renewed vigour and effervescence about Dundee United right now as Edwards gets a header into the box for Graham, tries to play it across, blocked by Goldson, cleared by Tavernier. It stays Rangers 2, Dundee United 1.
I think there's a bit more belief, Liam. That goal's given them the belief that they can hurt Rangers. I think the substitution has given them belief that they can, you know, and like Neil said, the change of shape, that they can maybe cause them problems up top. But also I think the pace of the game's frantic. Rangers it's been end to end. It's definitely more open, and that's partly down to Dundee United having that little bit more belief, having that little change of shape, and trying to make an impact going forward.
This ground is on edge, Liam.
It is.
Honestly,
I was just about to say that to you.
Yeah, you can feel it. The Rangers fans are really wanting Rangers to go and impose themselves on the game. But if anything, United are starting to creep into the game, but creep into better areas. I mean, you wouldn't put it past them getting an equaliser, but Rangers need to react well. I thought they did initially after the goal, but then it's been subdued since then. And United are starting to feel it, and this crowd are starting to let these Rangers players know that this is not good enough.
And they've dragged themselves back into this of the terrors as Barisic picks up and rolls it back the way to King. And the words "back the way" were accompanied by dissent from the home supporters as Arfield rolls it to Tavernier on the near side. Rangers attacking now. It's rolled back to John Lundstrom, who'll then play it to the left of the centre circle for Barisic. Out to that left-hand side for Kent on the touchline, skips infield and rolls it to Lundstrom. Lundstrom looks to clip it out to this near side. 65 minutes played, Rangers leading by 2-1. Here's Tavernier forward to Kent. Kent gets it into stride right-hand side of the box. Delicate chip ball to the back post, which is left by everyone, and Liam Smith's able to hook it clear. It was better from Ryan Kent.
I think he did really well there. He plays it with his right foot, he chips it to the back post, but I think that's what Charlie McCann's got to realise. Ryan Kent's usually in at the back post area. Can I then adjust my position and be there and get a goal? That was a great opportunity for someone at the back post there. But I think Ryan Kent in the second half, he's tried to put crosses in the box. Yes, the Rangers fans are still maybe not happy with his end product, Neil, but at least, you know, he's had a shot at goal. He's affected the game a little bit better.
Yeah, well, he's trying to get forward, but these fans are, I mean, they're unforgiving at times. Barisic is bomb forward. I think with United's adjustment of shape, if he retains his width, then he's going to occupy Smith. That means Barisic will be the fullbacks, as long as they don't play too high up against your wingers, they will get it on it all day. And that will either require Smith to engage Barisic, which should free up Kent. So it's about being clever about what changes Dundee United have made to their own side and then trying to exploit that. And I don't think Rangers are doing it just now.
United in possession in the Rangers half here, albeit they've lost it. It was McGrath, and now it's with King out to the left for Barisic. Approaching the final quarter of the game here, Airdrieonians have gone 2-0 up against Clyde in League One. And as Rangers come forward, it's Tavernier, right hand side of the box for Arfield. Clip ball in, decent, picked up by McCann. it onto the left, and then it just evades him just as he was about to pull the trigger, and United able to get it clear. It was a bit of a scramble though, but there's a chance here for United on the counter once again as they drive down that right hand side. Picked up by Watt, it's just in behind him. He looks to roll it to the right hand side for Smith, the United goal scorer. They're inside the area here, United. Smith's cross cut out by Barisic, and out it goes for a throw-in on the far side. But there's no doubt at all that Sada Anaku's made a heck of a difference to this United team. He's given them a real outball.
It's causing King and Goldston all sorts of problems. His pace, he's playing on their shoulders. It's that outball. But just the ball came from Dundee United defending their own box, and it looked like Charlie McCann was looking for contact there in the box. He never quite got it. I thought he could have concentrated more on getting his shot away. He was looking for contact, maybe for a penalty, and then the chance was
He was defended well though, Craig, because again, I thought he could have hit it first time. He tried a little chop, but United defended
didn't go for
well.
it.
No.
It is Rangers in possession, and we can go to Easter Road. It sounds as though Hibs are taking advantage of the fact that Aberdeen are down to 10 men. They had trailed Willie Miller.
Yeah, Liam, they are, and it's been one-way traffic. The game has been played in the Aberdeen half, and eventually the defence has been broken through. Josh Campbell it was that found himself in a pocket of space after great work by Chris Cadden, slipped him in. He then got his head up and he slipped it past Roos and goal. Martin Boyle in the ball again. They're throwing everything and it just drifts by the far post. So it's hit very much on top. They've got the second goal through Josh Campbell. Very deserved second goal. 2-1 Hibs at present.
Scott McMahon, meantime, here at Ibrox is going to replace Ross Graham. Suggests a potential change in shape. So Aberdeen behind against Hibs, who will usurp the Dons in the league table. They go above them with a win today, and Aberdeen, who've only won 2 away league games since last August, look like they could be losing again as United make that change. Double change for Rangers as well. Wright and Tillman are going to come on. Scott Arfield is going to come off. He's waiting to see who the other Rangers player is. Ryan Jack, he was, I think, half expecting that to be the case as he looked over. 69 played, Rangers 2-1 up, and Neil McCann and Craig Easton can talk us through the changes.
Yeah, well, I let Craig go to United because whether they push BH up in the left wing and put McMahon to left back, I think probably a little bit more aggressive. Yeah,
that's what's going to happen. Yeah, McMahon's going to go there. William Smith's just going to play as a right back, and the two centre halves will be Edwards and Mulgrew. So it'll be a back four. And I think that shows that William Smith's quite happy with how he can handle that midfield area at the moment.
Yeah, and with that, I think Scott Wright coming on for Rangers, Liam will be asked to be more aggressive and get at Scott McMahon. It looks like, which will be a full-back. Maybe Giovanni made that change thinking it was still going to be wing-backs, but Scott Wright's an aggressive change with Arfield, and Tillman coming in obviously is more aggressive because Ryan Jack, who's a central midfielder, will come off. Tillman needs to up his game as well. He started the season really well, and I think he's just shaded.
United come forward with BH, who is challenged on this near side, and it goes out for a throw into United, which BH takes quickly and bowls it back to Levitt. We're into the final 20 here at Ibrox. 2-1 Rangers. Chip ball into the penalty area. It's collected by Anaku, turns it back to BH. Left foot cross ball comes in. It's headed away there by Barisic and picked up by Edwards, who rolls it out wide right there for Liam Smith. Level the edge of the D of the Rangers box. Smith looking for an option in field, and he goes back to Levitt. First time ball. There's Edwards. His attempted pass along the 18-yard line is cut out by Lundstrom, who's able to clear with the left foot, and it's United giving away the free kick. The foul on Ryan Kent over there on the far side, and it is a free kick to the home team, who continue to lead 2-1. 71st minute, and the Rangers supporters, minutes applause, 70 minutes played. And again, like the pre-match tributes, the minute silence and the national anthem is followed by a minute's applause to mark the 70 years on the throne of Queen Elizabeth II. Rangers in possession here with Borna Barisic on the left-hand side out to the touchline for Kent. I'll run you through the score lines elsewhere in just a moment as the sliding Levitt puts it out for a Rangers throw-in on the far side. A little bit of afters there between Levitt and Barisic. Kevin Clancy on the scene quickly. Hibs then 2, Aberdeen 1, Livingston 1, Kilmarnock 0. Goalless still St Johnstone, Ross County. Haven't gone to Alan Preston once this afternoon during the game here. It's because there's no goals in that one. There has been, however, another goal in the Championship at Starks Park. Could be a big one. Let's find out. Derek Ferguson, last we heard, Raith leading Ayr by 2-1.
Yeah, Liam, it is a big one because it's the equaliser for Ayr United, and what a goal it was. Andy Murdoch just edge of the box on the volley, keeper absolutely no chance. So it's Raith Rovers 2, Ayr United 2.
Malik Tillman for Rangers, slipping it through towards McCann on the stretch, goes down, managed to find Kent though, although he's been taken off it by McGrath, then barges McGrath to the ground. Ref's happy with it. Here's Kent, rolls it to the overlapping Barisic, low ball, and McCann with fresh air when he'd a really glorious chance to open his Rangers account in his first start. He's had 2 bites at it in the second half. It stays on 72.5 minutes. Rangers 2, Dundee United 1.
He just tried to allow it to come across his strong side, Liam, whether he could have swept that with his left foot and keep it going in the direction it was moving in, but nonetheless he had a total fresh air. Big chance again. They've had 3 of those today across the face and taken none of them. But I tell you, John Lundstrom was covering on Anuku, and had he not made the challenge, United were in again. His pace is troubling Rangers.
He's actually just received his first call up to the Uganda national side. They've got games against Libya and Tanzania coming up in the international break, which follows this weekend. Of course, we've got action tomorrow, St Mirren against Celtic and Motherwell Hearts. Meantime here, Rangers come forward. Their lead is just a single goal as Cholak crosses, and it's flicked away there by Edwards. Cholak found himself right-hand side of the box. There's a shout for handball on the far side. Referee, a better view than anyone inside Ibrox, says no. Barisic crosses into the area, flicked away to the edge of the box, and United are able to scramble it clear. Here's Aziz Beyich driving down the left-hand side. Such an experienced international player is Beyich as he moves it into the centre circle for an unchallenged McGrath at the moment. 74th minute, Rangers 2, Dundee United 1. It's United on the right-hand side of the Rangers penalty area with Tony Watt. Finds Smith, whose goal's given United a chance of taking something from this game. Yet to win a league game this season, and certainly settle for a draw today. Not just because it's at Ibrox, but because they were 2-0 down. Here's Beyich on the left. Left foot cross comes in. Headed away by Connor Goldson. Clearance completed by McCann. Breaks to Mulgrew though. Now it's with Scott McMahon, the United sub. And he gets it back from Beyich. He decides to go back to his keeper Eriksson, who's outside his box, and he chips it clear with the right foot into the Rangers half. Easy for Leon King though, who flicks it forward. McCann finds Cholak, no offside. Here's Antonio Cholak, no support at the moment. You can hear what the Rangers fans make of that in the background. He now has it with right-hand side of the box. Scott Wright with a shot, saved by Eriksson, and then put behind for the corner by Mulgrew. 74.5 on the clock. Rangers 2, United 1.
Dundee United players are looking for that offside flag when Cholak
so Rangers, Rangers, I think ridiculous.
Yeah, and Cholak received the ball in a really good area. Took him a while to turn and then play that ball. Eventually, it probably should have given Dundee United more time to get back and do more about it before Eriksson made the save. But once again, Eriksson in there and Charlie Mulgrew mopping up the seconds.
I'll run you through the scorelines across the SPFL as soon as I get a chance. It's Tavernier with the corner, outswing it into the box, headed away by Edwards. Final 15 minutes here. Wright with the header back into the United box. It's Edwards who clears again. Levitt with the second header. McCann, shout was man on. He didn't hear it in time. United pinch it back. It's with Beyich on the near side, just drifting away infield.
William, he's had a better game today. I think he needs to play in a more advanced position. He isn't a left back. He is a left wing back or even a left midfielder. When you see him defensively, he's not great, although he's done a lot of work to help Ross Graham out when he was on, and he's doubling up with Scott McMahon there as well. He's definitely been a lot better. He's maybe just settling into his stride a little bit now, and he's shown a little bit of quality.
It's been another goal at Palmerston, and it is for Queen of the South again. They lead FC Edinburgh 2-0 in League One. Queen of the South 2, FC Edinburgh 0, heading towards the final stages of these games. Tavernier with the cross into the United box for Rangers, but it evades everyone and goes behind for a goal kick. 14 minutes left of the 90 here, and Dundee United are very much in this game.
Absolutely, and if you look at this, well, just talking about them down that left-hand side, Dundee United, a lot of Rangers, danger and a lot of their chances have come down the other side, defensively, right-hand side against William Smith and Ryan Edwards, and I think that's where Rangers have been looking to really exploit. Down this side it's been a wee bit quieter. Tavernier's been forced back a wee bit by Beyich. He's not got as much joy down this side, but yeah, I mean, the game's sort of in the balance at the moment.
McGrath trying to push it through to Anaku, but it's McGregor who gets there. So in the Premiership, Hibs 2, Aberdeen 1, Livingston 1, Kilmarnock 0, St Johnstone 0, Ross County 0, 2-1 to Rangers here in the Championship. Dundee 2, Cali Thistle 2, Morton 0, Arbroath 2, Accies 0, Queen's Park 2, Partick Thistle 2, Cove Rangers 0, Raith Rovers 2, Ayr United 2. The Honest Men coming from 2-0 down there. Here come Rangers. Tillman slipping it into the United box. McCann couldn't quite get it dug out from under his feet. And Eriksson holds on to it. Charlie McCann again, 13 to play. Rangers 2, United 1.
Do you know what? He's been good today for his starting debut in the league. I think he's been good, but he should have taken that first time. Again, it's that one. It's a lovely pace pass from Tillman, and he steps onto it. If he can just guide it instead of taking a touch.
Ayr Geonians have gone 4-0 up now against Clyde in League One. Alloa 1, Montrose 1, Dunfermline 1, Falkirk 1, Peterhead 2, Kelty 1, Queen of the South 2, FC Edinburgh 0. There's been another goal at Easter Road for Willie Miller.
It's a third one for the home side. Josh Campbell again getting on the end of the ball just to prod it by the Aberdeen goalkeeper Kel Roos, who've been totally on top in the second half, thoroughly deserve what looks like taking the full 3 points here. Campbell once again pounces and strikes to make it 3-1.
In League 2, Albion Rovers 0, Forfar for 1. That was the goal scored by Aitken early in the second half. Also in League 2, Annan 1, East 5-2, Dumbarton 1, Bonnyrigg 0, Stenhousemuir 2, Elgin City 3 in a thriller at Ochil View. And it's Stirling Albion 4, Stranraer 1 at Forth Bank.
The Rangers fans, sorry, the Rangers fans are quite frustrated, Neil, and you've been in this position. I take it that, you know, when the crowd aren't necessarily happy with how the game's going and the level of dominance, but I think Dundee United have done really well in terms of they forced it wide and they're just defending the crosses. Rangers need to come up with something else that's going to break this Dundee United team down at the moment.
Long ball for Cholak to chase from McCann. The goalkeeper comes and gets just about at the edge of his own box. So we approach 79 minutes. He's quite unorthodox at times, Carl-Johan Eriksson, isn't he?
That's a good word for it. Yeah, one word for it. I mean, I thought he confused himself there, but he got there in the end. But I think the relation to the crowd, they're not daft. I think they can understand that this game is in the balance. United will still pose a threat. Whether they're confident that Rangers can hold out that threat is one thing, but they want the Rangers to keep pushing forward. Try and kill this game, Liam.
Kent for Lundstrom at the edge of the box. Tillman's back heel's given away, and now it's with Dylan Levitt who plays it forward. Chasing it now is Tony Watt. Leon King bursting a gut to get back there, and he does. He puts it out for the throw-in on this near side. 80th minute, Rangers 2, Dundee United 1. Looked like Watt was going to get there. Connor Goldson certainly wasn't catching him. Leon King saw the danger a mile away though.
I don't think Dylan Levitt actually meant for that ball to go in behind. It was a good bad one from Levitt. He's been actually really good this second half, Dylan Levitt. He's kept the play going. He's worked really hard with Ian Hart's in that middle of the park, but he got a bit lucky there. Yeah, and Tony Watt playing on the shoulder again. Good cover from King.
A good bad one. Having that one.
I've had a few of them, Liam.
Remember watching them. Here's Levitt for United to the edge of the box. Now it's back with Watt, who shoots and it's blocked. Pings back to Charlie Mulgrew here. Angst amongst the Rangers ranks right now. Moved out to the left-hand side of the box for BH. Low ball in. Is cleared by Goldson. Throw-in United level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box as we go into the final 10.
By the way,
a great opportunity, isn't it?
It is, but the support is really affecting this game positively for United. And the absolute opposite for these Rangers players.
They're jittery.
Yeah, they are. I mean, but there's still one or two players that I think need to spark themselves into life. Tillman's been thrown onto the pitch to make an impact in the game. Scott Wright's moving around, but Tillman for me is so static. He's been caught a couple of times. He's got a chance here though.
Yeah, Tillman given away by United through for Cholak. Couldn't quite get the touch onto it though, and it breaks back into the gloves of Eriksson. Rangers trying desperately to put this game to bed. 81 in, Rangers 2, Dundee United 1.
And Eriksson doing his best to give them a third goal. There's no need to do that at this stage of the game. You've got to be, and Charlie Mulgrew's done the same. He's just played it to Tillman.
Here's Tillman outside of the boot, pass for Scott Wright. He's at the byline, fires it across, and Mulgrew puts it behind for the corner after it was he who gave it away. He's apologising to his teammates. 81 played, Rangers leading by 2-1 as they look for the third goal that you would imagine would finish this.
Yeah, I think it would. There's no guarantee they're going to get it. Dundee United, you're right, Eastie. I think they're trying their best to let Rangers finish this. The pain is so self-inflicted right now, but they're managing to hold on.
Back with Tavernier, looks up, right foot cross comes in. Eriksson commits himself, doesn't get much on the punch, but it's enough to force it out to that wide area, but it's picked up by Čolak. Wide on that left, now it's with Kent. Back to Barisic, 82 minutes played. Barisic swings the ball in. Goldson with a header back across, and what a save by Eriksson! Brilliant goalkeeping. Connor Goldson headed it back onto the 6-yard line for Malik Tillman, and Eriksson keeps United in proceedings. 82 played, Rangers 2, Dundee United 1.
You've said it before, it's unorthodox. He's a punch just before that didn't really go the distance that he wanted, but then he makes an excellent reflex save. Should he do better with a header? Probably.
I think he should score.
Anywhere but there. I don't think the keeper's got a chance. He allows him to make the save, but you know what, he's still got to do it, and he makes a good save, tips it over the bar.
Short corner, Tillman to right, rolls it along the 18-yard line. McCann's first time ball is cut out, and United are coming away in a counter-attacking move here, and that's a cynical slide challenge by King right in front of the referee in the centre circle. Yellow card. It's one of those good yellows though.
Yeah. Listen, it's remember the Lindstrom one clearly that was given a red card. It's a yellow all day. I don't know what the United players are running in for. They know it's a professional foul, and
there we go.
And it's killing the game. It's a tactical foul. It's seen all over the game. I don't think there's anything sinister in it.
Can't be any more than what it is. It's a yellow card. There's a good break for United on. You know, he's taking him out. His manager will be happy with what he's done. He's taking the booking. But there's nothing more than that.
I don't know why Barisic is running like 30 yards to get involved, and I'm not quite sure why. It's Leon King that takes a foul. He just takes his yellow card, he gets back the pitch, doesn't get involved. And all of a sudden, United players surround Kevin Clancy, and Barisic comes from nowhere, and I've no idea why.
Kevin Clancy can't do any more. He's booked him. There's nothing more in it. And United...
They're all at it. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
Roles reversed, United would have done the same to a Rangers player. There's a little stoppage in play here. Let's go to Firhill. Chicks watching Partick Thistle Cove Rangers.
Well, it was all Partick Thistle. They were absolutely strolling this, but maybe a nervous last few minutes because Mark Reynolds has got to go back for Cove Rangers. Corner on the left side came in. It was a bit scrappy within the Thistle box. Fell for Reynolds. He got a deflection, but he's put it into the back of the net. And Cove Rangers are back in this Thistle lead by 2-1.
Be bottom of the table if things stay the way they are right now, though. Will Cove with Arbroath 2-0 up at Morton. United then get the game back underway. Here's Tony Watt under pressure. He's managed to get it back at the edge of the box, though. Watt with a step over, and Tillman nicks it off him just when Tony Watt thought he was going to be in there. The referee's given the free kick to Rangers at the edge of the box. The boos are because there was a clear advantage for Rangers there, albeit advantage they're at the edge of their own penalty box, and Tillman's got a heck of a lot still to do at that moment. But just another signal, an example of the Rangers supporters being on edge here.
Yeah, they're just annoyed by a lot of stuff right now, none more so than their team's performance and not being able to kill the game off. But yeah, I don't think there was much advantage there. You're right, he's 70-80 yards to travel before there's anything going to happen of note.
85 minutes on the clock. Rangers 2, Dundee United 1. Rangers looking to close the gap on Celtic back to 2 points ahead of the champions' visit to St Mirren tomorrow, live in Sportsound midday, followed by Motherwell Hearts. Here come Rangers. Barisic with a cross, comes off right on the 6-yard line and bounces frustratingly away for right. You couldn't control.
He didn't expect it, and I think he's expecting Charlie Mulgrew to win the header. He totally misses it, and it just catches Scott right in the mid-drift, and the chance is gone. Even Giovanni Van Bronckhorst down there on the touchline is throwing his arms around a little bit. He's getting frustrated as well.
He's normally a cool customer, isn't he? There's been yet another goal for Derek Ferguson at Starks Park.
Yeah, Liam, and I tell you what, Wraith have had to dig in. They've done it ever so well, and it's Scott Brown that just volleyed home to send up 3-2 into the lead. Very similar to Murdoch's goal, but this game has been sensational in terms of it's end-to-end, but again, Wraith regaining the lead, so 3-2 here at Starks Park.
And another goal for Chick at Firhill as Kevin Clancy annoys the Rangers supporters again. United have a goal kick. Check.
That well-known goal machine, Mark Reynolds, has put Cove Rangers on level terms. He scored just a couple of minutes ago. He scored again, another scramble inside the box. Got it beyond David Mitchell in the Partick Thistle goal. Thistle had a real grip in this football match. Incredibly, it's 2 each. Chance at the other end cleared. What a climax, a football match. Cove are out of it, they're back in it big time. It's Thistle 2, Cove 2.
Mark Reynolds has just doubled his Cove Rangers goal tally in one fell swoop. as Charlie Mulgrew, under pressure, he decides to clear it. He was facing his own goalkeeper there as well. It's quickly go to Dens, Gavin Wallace.
Dundee 2, Inverness Cally Thistle 3. Cameron Harper with another cracker of a goal on the edge of the box. He was allowed a load of freedom and he slotted it well beyond the goalkeeper. Dundee 2, Inverness 3.
Getting towards the closing stages of all the matches across the Cinch SPFL, the Premiership, Championship, Leagues 1 and 2. Remember, bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland. You can keep up to date with all the scorelines whenever you want there at that website. Sports Scene tonight, the highlights on the BBC Scotland channel, 7:15 this evening, a little bit earlier than normal, as the offside flag was up against Scott Wright. The replay on BBC One Scotland's after midnight, 12:05, as United make another change. Tony Watt coming off, Cujo's going to come on. 2.5 minutes though are all that's left of the 90 here for Dundee United, who trail Rangers by 2-1.
Little Cujo man coming on for Tony Watt, who's, you know, he's done a power of work up there. The little man's quite sharp. Can he get round the boot? Sadat Anaku. I know this minute, is there another chance here for Dundee United?
United supporters hope so over on that far side. Liam Smith brought them back into it. Cholak's double either side of half-time at the moment, though, is enough for Rangers to go back to within 2 of Celtic at the top of the table. Hibs leading Aberdeen 3-1, Livingston 1-0 up in Kilmarnock, goalless at McDermott between St Johnstone and County. Here come United down the right of the Rangers box. It's a little touch there. Was it Tillman?
I thought that was a trip there.
Oh, he's given the goal kick.
Oh, that's close. I'd love to. We'll see that later on.
Could easily have been a penalty.
Yeah, I just thought he stuck the right boot in and didn't make contact with the football. I thought he maybe caught McGrath. I might be proved wrong later on, but
I agree, Neil. I think there was a bit of contact. I think McGrath went down, and I don't think there was much of the ball there. So yeah, we need to see that again. But that was a real opportunity for a penalty kick there.
Championship 3-2 Cally Thistle at Dundee, 2-0 Arbroath at Morton, 2-0 Queen's Park at Hamilton, 2-2 now between Partick Thistle and Cove, with Raith Rovers 3-2 up in Ayr. 5-0 now Ayr-Geonians in League 1 against Clyde. Alloa 2, Montrose 1, Dunfermline 1, Falkirk 1, Peterhead 2, Kelty 1, Queen of the South 4, FC Edinburgh 0. And in League 2, Albion Rovers 0, Forfar 2, Annan 2, East Fife 2, Dumbarton 1, Bonnyrigg 0, Stenhousemuir 3, Elgin City 3 now, 6-goal thriller at Ochilview, and Stirling Albion leading Stranraer by 4-1. These matches all going into the closing stages. Remember the first round of the Scottish Cup as well. All the full-time results will eventually be made known to us. All those games began last night, it's continuing today, as that slipped out there by McGrath to the right-hand side for Smith. Forward, well, that's an offside against Cujo, and Veitch down on this near side's frustrated because he sensed there was a chance there. We're in the final minute of the 90 at Ibrox. Rangers 2, United 1.
Probably just is offside, but it's been interesting how the Dundee United players have got around John Lundstrom. You know, Liam Fox has realised that Lundstrom was a linchpin in the middle of the park. You know, Sadat Anaku went on. He's seen him any time Dundee United lost possession, he would go onto the back of John Lundstrom, just trying to stop him getting on the ball as much, and then as soon as he receives it, there's 3 or 4 players around him, they nick it and they have an attack, and they've done that much better this second half.
3 minutes have been added on at the end here at Ibrox. We're into the first of those. Header away there by Edwards. Can United salvage a point here at a nervy Ibrox? Here's Veitch driving down the left-hand side, support in the middle. Cross comes in. There's a header which Alan McGregor will hold on to. It's actually not the worst header in the world by Sadat Anaku. He's headed it from just outside the D, 23 yards, and Alan McGregor, it's a comfortable save in the end up, with fair play getting the power he managed to generate and forcing McGregor to dive for it. 2-1 Rangers though, and we're in stoppage time at the end of the second half. Neil McCann.
Yeah, I wasn't worried with the header. I mean, to score a header from 20 odd yards out when the keeper's got a full look at it would be pretty special. I was more worried about how much space that United still are getting out in the wide areas and how much they're really pushing for this equaliser.
Headed away by Connor Goldson into the United half. It's controlled by Edwards. Harks losing out to Tillman. Tillman now driving forward, options, loads of them left and right. He goes right for Scott Wright, poor control. He's still on it, level with the penalty spot, taking on McMahon and winning Rangers a corner, and that is what they want at this point in proceedings, almost halfway through the 3 minutes that were added on at the end by Kevin Clancy. Rangers 2, Dundee United 1.
I tell you, talk about signings before the game and you do your homework and all that sort of stuff. You can't work out somebody's mentality until they're here, Liam, whether they can deal with this pressure, because this is pressure. This tells you where you want the ball, where you want to be brave. Can you handle it when they're baying for you to do something? This is all part of being an Old Firm player, and you don't find it out until you're in the thick of the battle.
Well, we're trying to play the clock down from the short corner. There are Rangers on this near side, main stand side's gone out of play, and it's a United throw-in as we go into the final minute of the game here at Ibrox. Do United have another opportunity in them? Short throw-in, McMahon now to Levitt, spins away, burrows away from Cholak. It's a long ball out to Smith on the right. United might get that final chance. Flooding forward in Tangerine. Smith, right-hand side of the box for Cujo, who's won a corner off Leon King. Dundee United corner, 40 seconds left. Rangers leading, a wafer-thin lead of 2-1. Cujo to take in swinger, right in front of the Arabs on the far side.
He doesn't want to be wasteful here. Could be the last chance.
Probably will be the last chance. Cujo then in swinger with the left foot. He's managed to get it to the near post for Hearts. Doesn't get good contact. Works it back out to Cujo. Level with the 6-yard line. Dancing around. Low ball in. Goes straight to Tillman, who whacks it clear. 10 seconds left. Eriksson, the goalkeeper, on the halfway line. Rangers trying to see this out. Here's Mulgrew, loads of space on the near side. In comes the cross, breaks out, right hand side of the box. The shot deflected behind. There's no time for the corner though. Kevin Clancy blows the final whistle. The United players swarming round the referee, asking why they're not being allowed to take the corner. The 3 minutes of injury time was up, and Rangers have eventually ground out the 3 points here at Ibrox against a spirited Dundee United, who showed a lot more today than they have done for most of this season, in truth, in the Premiership, because they managed to make a game of it in the end after Antonio Cholak scored early in both halves to give Rangers a 2-0 lead. 10 minutes after the second, Liam Smith's deflected effort flew past Alan McGregor to give United a chance. Did a couple of penalty appeals as the game wore on there, did the visitors. Kevin Clancy wasn't interested in those appeals. And in the end up, Rangers, who actually spurned plenty opportunities in the first half, have managed to get over the line and get themselves back to within 2 points of Celtic at the top of the Cinch Premiership. And it's a result that will leave Dundee United marooned at the bottom of the top flight going into the first international break of the season. All the full-time results and reports and post-match reaction to come in the final hour and a bit of Sports Sound, where we have been doing the commentary from Ibrox, where it finished Rangers 2, Dundee United 1.
This